Okay.
It's about 2 minutes long.
Okay.
I know you young people said to yourselves, I am going to live a purposeful life.
And I say to you, during your 4 years of college is a time to enlarge your souls. And the way to enlarge your lives is to so broadcast your life into the lives of others that it will return to you 100-fold.
Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's Restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's is a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Lexington Catholic tonight, the 3A playoffs, Commonwealth Gridiron Bowl 3A playoffs, Lexington Catholic and Garrett County. Gary Ball with Coach Mike Mee and William Warfield tonight. It is the Russell Athletic Commonwealth Gridiron Bowl second round. This is technically, Coach, a regional semifinal game, and Garrett County, a team that's got a big offensive line and some young men that can run the football. They're coming in here tonight looking for the big upset against Lexington Catholic.
Right, and we were talking to some of their people, and they're pretty excited about this football team, and they owe Lexington Catholic. Gary, the last time they played, it started out like Lexington Catholic was going to run away with the game. Didn't end up that way.
Right. They came back after the 21-0 start by Lexington Catholic. Garrett County came back and made a great football game out of that. Garrett County coached by Jerry Perry. He was a longtime assistant at Danville High School under Sam Harp, won some state championships there. And, of course, Mark Perry. So it's the battle of the Perry brothers here tonight. Mark and Jerry, Lexington Catholic and Garrett County coach. And I know you being an old coach yourself, a lot of times the coaches, there is a battle on the sidelines, isn't there?
There is a battle, and usually it's head coaches, when it comes to game time, hay's in the barn, Gary.
Yep.
These kids, they made it to the second round of the playoffs. These are good football teams. These kids can play.
Hickey is one of the captains for the night. As the captains make their way out on the field, we'll tell you about the starters. But first, we'll take a break and come back. And we want to thank White, Greer, and Maggard tonight, our title sponsor here on PrepSpin. White, Greer, and Maggard, also Bob Roberts Insurance, and Sutherland Chevrolet. We'll come back here, Lexington Catholic, Garrett County. It's playoff action here, the Russell Athletic Commonwealth Gridiron Bowl here on PrepSpin and Night Vision.
Tonight's head coaches are Mark Perry for the Knights and Jerry Perry for the Garrett County Lions.
Let's take a look at the are we back live, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for Lexington Catholic and for Garrett County. It will be Matt Morris who will be at center, and the guards will be Davion Logan and also Dalton Marcy. Colton Barker will be at a tackle along with Ethan Ponton. Those are your offensive line. And, Coach, they'll go with the wishbone at time. Jareth Davis, 6'6", 235 junior, is a tight end, along with Clay Shuey. When they go with the wishbone, they'll have the double tights for Garrett County.
I'll tell you what, those are some big guys up there. And last time they played now, they controlled the line of scrimmage, especially in the second half.
And your quarterback for Garrett County is Slade Crutchfield. He's a 6'3" senior. Running backs are going to be Devin Logan, a junior, and Jacob Foley, a junior as well. Foley, a 1,200-yard rusher, 14 touchdowns. Logan, those two have combined, Coach, talking about Logan and Foley, 2,000 yards and 24 touchdowns. So they've got a couple of good backs here at Garrett County.
They do, and now they just had the coin toss, and Garrett County won the toss and deferred, Gary. So we'll be seeing Lexington Catholic's offense first.
And it'll be Noah Tabritti at the center spot, Thomas Gerardstein at a guard, and it will be Woodford Langford and Lark Wetcher at the tackles. Looking at the backfield, it'll be Donovan Morris. Andy Thompson will get the start at quarterback. Bo Bennington at a wide receiver, along with Chris Thompson out there and J.J. Ogbugu. And Jalen Jones will be your running back. As we said, quarterback will be Andy Thompson. And we're just a few minutes away from football here and taking a look at the Golden Lions and their defense, Coach Meehan. It will be Elwood East and Ethan Ponton, Davian Logan at tackles. The outside linebackers will be Devin Logan, Clay Shuey, and Jacob Foley. Your corners will be Mike Redmond. Also, it will be Dominique Morrison and Drake Banks. Those are your defensive backs, Coach.
It's going to be interesting. I was looking some stats, and if you look at 3A football, the interesting thing that jumped out at me is Garrett County is 5th in rushing in 3A and 4th against the rush in 3A, whereas Lexington Catholic is number 2 in 3A in passing. So it's going to be one of those games maybe where it's just one team's throwing the ball, one team's running the ball.
And, Coach, you would have to think that this juncture in the playoffs is where Lexington Catholic's tough schedules helped them. I talked to Coach Perry of Garrett County. He said they've really played a 5A schedule when you look at their schedule.
Yes, they have. And again, Lexington Catholic, another thing, they're playing home.
Right.
And that makes a big difference in the playoffs. I feel like it does.
Lexington Catholic Knights, as we said, coached by Mark Perry, and the coach of Garrett County is Jerry Perry. And Jerry Perry is in his second year as the head coach there at Garrett County, coming over from Danville. And Mark Perry, what is this for Coach Perry? Is this his third season, Coach?
Third season, I think,
Yep.
from Central Hardin.
Right, from Central. And had a lot of success at Central Hardin.
Very much so. And I've worked with Coach Coach Perry in camps and things. He's a fantastic fundamental coach. He's one of those guys who really does a good job teaching the fundamentals, especially with quarterback. I mean, he's just an amazing quarterback coach, and he's hired actually has a very good assistant staff here at Lexington Catholic.
He has, and of course, Kevin Brueggemann is the defensive coordinator, and and the used to be the athletic director, Brad Carter, now the athletic director here at Lexington Catholic. And check out the Scholastic Ball Report tomorrow. Lexington Catholic Scholars from their soccer team are the Scholars of the Week tomorrow, and also South Florida Team of the Week features on the playoffs. The Scholastic Ball Report Saturdays at noon on the CW.
And a good thing to do, and I do it. I love your show. I'm not going to miss your show, but sometimes there are good football games on at that same time.
Yes,
so I use that bad boy DVR. And I sit and watch that show whenever, and I enjoy it.
And set to go kick off will be Nick McCullum. McCullum will kick off for Garrett County, and dropping back deep for the Knights of Lexington Catholic. They got Andy Thompson back there deep. He's standing at about the 10-yard line. So McCullum set to kick off for Garrett County. Boy, I'm liking these Garrett County uniforms, Coach.
I do too. They're easy to see the numbers from our point of view, that's for sure.
Kind of look like a mini USC Trojans, don't they?
They do.
There
They actually do.
And, if they had an SC on that helmet, and of course Lexington Catholic in the black tonight with the navy blue. And McCollum set to kick off, Thompson set to return, and we're just about set for the second round of the Russell Athletic Commonwealth Gridiron Bowl. Gary Ball, Mike Me, and William Warfield here tonight on PrepSpin. McCollum waiting for the indication from the officials. He gets it, approach, a low kick, far side, and it's going to be scooped at about the 39 over on the far side over there for the Knights of Lexington Catholic. And jumping on the ball there for Lex Cath was number 38.
Yeah, that was Subtle.
Yep.
Eric Subtle.
Eric Subtle with the recovery there. So Lexington Catholic will go to work, and they're going to mark it at the 39-yard line. Let's see what they do here, Garrett County and Lexington Catholic. Andy Thompson, as we said, will get to start at quarterback. And, Coach, I would say we'll see Fago and we'll see Brumball tonight. We're going to see three quarterbacks tonight for the Knights.
Well, I'm hoping to see Brumball. I'm hoping he's back strong and ready to go. So they've got they've got a choice of three different people to run a quarterback. We have a little delay here. The head referee is talking to Coach Perry down on the sideline.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the discussion is at all, but they're talking, as you said, to Coach Perry. A long delay here in the start of the football game after the kick was a low one by McCollum, and as you said, Settle was able to jump on it there for the Knights return team.
There is a situation with the football, and I don't know what it is. I hope it's not a deflate game.
I was thinking, yeah. Well, it is a little nip in the air here tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The quarterback, I don't know whether they didn't like the ball or what, but they're bringing it in now. We're ready to go. So Lexington Catholic spreading the field as usual, Gary.
They are, and splitting out. Chris Thompson is out to the left, and he's out there with Agbugu. You got Donovan Morris and Bennington out to the top. And as we said, Andy Thompson and Jalen Jones are in the backfield. Thompson now with the back there, Jones. First down as a long delay. They get another football in there. Hand off to Jones, 40. Jones, 45, and dragging tacklers up to the 47-yard line. And let's see who came up and made the stop there in the secondary.
Well, number 33 came up and made part of the Clay Shuey, but somebody else grabbed his ankle just as he crossed the line of scrimmage.
Dominique Morrison's a young man, the junior, that had him by the ankle after a pickup of 7. Second down and 3 up at the 46-yard line for quarterback Thompson. Trips out to the top. Quick fire to the near side. Agbugu's got it. Agbugu hit, and a nice tackle there on a loss. Ball comes out late. That's a nice play there by Banks. Banks came in there. Drake Banks making a nice play, and that's going to bring up third down and 4. Boy, Garrett County had that one smelled out, didn't it?
They did, and Coach Perry likes to screen early. He likes to throw those quick screens early in the game to get that defensive line running back and forth.
Here is Thompson looking to pass, looks far side, throws it deep, and his receiver is going to run under it, and he's got it. That's Morris to the 10, 5 touchdown.
Nice job by Andy Thompson. He waited until that receiver broke open. They're rushing 3 people. They're not going to get to Andy rushing 3 people. They dropped 8 in coverage, and he just ran right by him.
That's the start, much like the first Garrett County game when they jumped out on him with the long touchdown pass. Lexington Catholic, then Garrett settled into the game. But, boy, that didn't take long, Coach.
It's nice to have a guy come like Andy Thompson and be able to throw the ball that well, isn't it?
55-yard strike from Thompson to Morris, and Catholic jumps out 6-0. And waiting for the old swinging gate there for the extra point for the Knights of Lexington Catholic.
But you got to play pass defense against this football team. You have to play it all the time. Yeah, looking at the instant
Rios.
play, Rio here.
Yeah, Rios with the extra point. There you see the Morris, just once he caught that ball, he was off to the races.
Right.
So Thompson.
Nice job.
Thompson hooks up with Morris, and Catholic takes an early lead, 7-0, 10:53. We'll return here on PrepSpin after this timeout.
Like the thoroughbreds we are named for, racers are spirited and proud. We have the heart and will to succeed, to go farther, learn more, and embrace wisdom. We are champions who take our place in the Murray State tradition. We are racers.
My light on here. Welcome back, and Gary, here's the kick by Lexington Catholic, and it's taken by Garrett County out to the 10, out to the 15, 20. Nice return there up to the 26-yard line by Mike Redmond. Redmond on the return there for Garrett County, and they will start at the 26. We gave you their offensive lineup already. Slade Crutchfield is their senior quarterback coach. He's only thrown 6 touchdown passes this year, but that doesn't tell the story. Garrett County's got 2 fine running backs in Jacob Foley and Devin Logan. They've combined for almost 2,000 yards and 24 touchdowns.
Coach Jerry Perry told you, right? He said that they were going to open up tonight and throw the ball 4 or 5 times.
They're going to open it up tonight.
Yeah, 4 or 5
Crutchfield, he has Logan and Foley behind him. He's going to give to Logan. Second man, he's got some running room. He's at the 45. Let the 40 of Catholic being chased, and finally pulled down inside the 30-yard line on a great run there by Logan as he takes it from the 26 down to the 27-yard line of Lexington Catholic, and Logan nearly popped that one, Coach. And that's a nice run there by Devin Logan.
He did. We're going to try to take a quick look at it on instant replay if we can. If you see this right here, let's have a look.
That offensive line, there it is, Coach.
Yeah, nice little trap in there, and he broke through off the guard, off the A-gap, and was gone.
This time they're going with the wishbone. And Crutchfield, he gives to Foley, and Foley, he's got some running room. Foley takes it down to the 22-yard line. Nice run there by Jacob Foley. By the way, that run by Mr. Logan was, looking at the yardage, Coach, that was about a 46-yard run?
46-yard run to start the game off. And then Foley powered the ball up there again to get a good gain. So it's second and very manageable.
Second and 3 on that pickup of 7 by Jacob Foley, the outstanding junior running back. They both started last year. And here's Logan up the gut. He's got the first down and more as he takes it down about the 17-yard line. I tell you what, this offensive line up front doing a great job. Morris, you got Davion Logan, you got Ponton, you got Dalton Marcy and Barker, Coach. They are really blowing off the ball there for Garrett County.
Right, and Garrett's running what we call a dark formation. It's not a true unbalanced, but they have actually 3 people plus the split end on this side. See that, Gary? They got 3 people plus the split end. Weak on the backside with just 2.
Nathan McCollum comes their way out to the top. They give it to Logan, and he's hit. This time he does get a couple of yards about the 15. Let's see who came in there and made the initial hit for the Knights defense, and it was Fago in there. Foster was in there as well, and also I saw Jack Fago, one of the leading tacklers on this Catholic defense. Pickup of 2, Coach, second down and 8, but Garrett County on the march. It got started on a nice run by Devin Logan right off the bat.
Right, and they're running toward the power side, toward the 4-people side, and then the last time they went weak side for the play.
Out of the wishbone again for Crutchfield. He slides and he gives to Logan. Logan getting down low.
Nice job.
And he's hit immediately there after a short gain. And let's see who got in there for the defense for Lex Cath. Coulter helping out, Coach, on the play.
Yeah, they had 2 or 3 people. What Lexington Catholic has decided to do is on the weak side, on the 2 down linemen's offensive side, they're coming hard on that side, pinching it down. If the quarterback wants to keep that ball outside, there's room out there for him to run.
Third down and about 6 at the 14 of Catholic for the Garrett County Golden Lions. In their white with the maroon gold trim, wishbone backfield.
Nice.
They give to Foley, trying to bounce it outside. Foley breaking tackles, gets down inside the 10, but he's going to be just short of that first down.
They ran a little shift. Did you notice that? They ran in the wishbone, and then the wishbone shifted to the left, and then he ran to the weak side. So when you go to the weak side with 3 running backs, and the quarterback can be a blocker too in that case, you kind of balance yourself out.
But made a great play for Catholic was Austin Pedroshi. He really got from his Mike linebacker, got over there and sealed that off, or that's going to be a first down. Instead, it's fourth down and along about a yard and a half at the 10.
Big time.
For the Golden Lions of Garrett County. Trying to answer. Somebody might have jumped off there. No flag. Quarterback is going to give it to Foley, and he's going to dive down close to the marker. It depends on that mark, but I think he's got it. From our angle, looks like he's got the first down. There was some movement, Coach. Why did we not have a penalty flag there?
I don't know. I saw it too. There was some movement. Sid Sharp made the tackle on that play.
But I tell you what, there was definitely some movement in the defensive line for the Catholic Knights, and that kind of threw Crutchfield off a little bit. He kind of hesitated. Then he realized there was no flag, so he said, I better run the play. Gave it off to Foley.
Gave it to the big guy.
Gave it to Big Foley, 185, 190-pounder, and he got the first down. So on the march, 7:42 to go. Catholic up 7-0, but Garrett County on the march. And there's Logan, and he's going to take it about to 5 and pick up a couple of yards there for Garrett County. Devin Logan. Logan is another junior. As sophomores, talking about Foley and Logan, that tandem there, Coach, they both were 1,000-yard rushers last year.
That's pretty neat. That's pretty amazing. And Coach Jerry Perry, he's not messing around. He knows that he's got a team that can run the football, and that's what he's dependent on here.
They mark it at the 4, so it'll be 2nd and goal for Garrett County out of Lancaster, Kentucky. They will send McCollum, who also does the kicking. He's out to the far side, out of that wishbone. What they do in the wishbone is they bring in Josh Warren, the sophomore, 180-pounder, and they will give it to Foley. Foley hit and dropped immediately. I mean, he might have lost a half a yard.
Right, there were like 3 Knights in there. Number 54 for Knights again made the tackle.
Yeah, Sid Sharp.
Sid Sharp, that's like the 3rd tackle he's made down here close. 5'11", 210-pound junior. They have him back next year, and I guarantee you they're happy about that.
So Sid Sharp making a nice play, brings up 3rd and goal for the, what do you call here, Coach?
Well, watch them see if they shift that wishbone again. They've given the weak side back to the left side this time.
3rd down and goal.
Weak side.
Warren and Crutchfield, and he is going to take it in for the touchdown. Yeah. Crutchfield did a great job faking that ball to Warren, the man who dotted that wishbone, and then ran it in, and we got a 7-6 ball game. That was a great job there by Crutchfield.
Well, that was a great call by the coaching staff over there, Jerry Perry's staff on the far sideline over there, the Golden Knights. Golden Lions running a wishbone keep by the quarterback that time. They ran the wishbone. They powered to the strong side. Then they come back and run to the weak side, run the keep, touchdown. If you take a look at the replay, see it's a weak side. He bellies the fullback and bounces in there. The only person out there to make the tackle is the guy playing the edge. He's got to get help from the linebacker. The linebacker can't get out.
And the Golden Lions are going to go for 2 on this 2-point conversion. And they give, and they will not get it as they're stopped immediately. And looks like making the play there was Lexington Catholic's Fago and also Austin Lauterbach. Lauterbach helping out as well. Lauterbach. So the 2-point conversion is no good, Coach. I don't know about that. You got a 7-6 ball game and you go for 2.
Well, maybe when we get a chance, we'll talk to some of their people and find out maybe they don't have a kicker.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't have, because look, the kickoff they had was a very poor kickoff.
6:20 to go, and it's Lexington Catholic 7, Garrett County 6 here on Preps. We want to thank, of course, White, Greer, and Maggard, our title sponsor. Also, Bob Roberts Insurance over in Richmond, Kentucky. And we want to thank Sutherland Chevrolet. Head on down to Nicholasville to Sutherland Chevrolet for the best cars. It's holiday season, and get you a great new car at Sutherland Chevrolet.
And don't text and drive.
That's right. Do not text and drive. Won't be any texting and driving here tonight, but I tell you what, there will be. Garrett County marched 74 yards, Coach, and it all started on that great run by Devin Logan.
Yeah, we'll call that the Southern Chevrolet drive of the day right there, because they drove all the way down the field.
That was outstanding by Garrett County, and they drove it 74 yards. Now they're set to kick off. McCollum kicked a short one the first time. Let's see what he does here with Thompson back deep. McCollum, he's going to kick another, almost an onside attempt. Bobbled around, picked up by Catholic at the 40, and they're going to be breaking tackles up to the 45-yard line, and still on his feet, and that's going to be Morris. He's to the 35. Morris down the far sideline to 20, and Morris is going to take it to the house. Hold your phone. There's a flag down, but that may be offside against Garrett County on the kick team because that's where the flag is in the vicinity of.
Yeah, well, there was
a flag down.
Yeah, there was a super nice block down there to spring him right there at the end, too.
Donovan Morris already has a 55-yard touchdown catch.
They're bringing it back.
Yeah, they're going to bring this one back. It looks like it's going to be a block in the back. It's going to be, it's going to be holding. Block in the back is the call against Lexington Catholic. So that one negated a great return there, Coach, by Donovan Morris, as William Warfield has that great replay. And to take a look at it there again.
Nice block. He broke about 5 or 6 tackles. Nice job of running. He has got the people out in front of him. Nice block there. There's your block in the back right there. And it really wasn't necessary because number 2 for Lexington Catholic was coming up to make a real clean front block.
You got Jones behind the quarterback, Thompson. After the penalty, it's at the 45.
I like that.
Here's a give to Jalen. Jalen to the 40. He's into the secondary. He's to the 25. Finally tackled at the 23-yard line. Shuey finally got him, but not before Jalen broke into the secondary there at Garrett County.
Yeah, he busted that gap in there. But I tell you, the coolest thing I saw was the way Shuey hustled to make that tackle. I thought Jones was gone there, didn't you?
Yeah, Clay is Shuey, a 200-pounder. He's the leading tackler for this Garrett County team. And there is another flag down, so penalty markers really hurting the Lex Cath Knights right now. 7-6 is your score. And, Coach, Garrett County's showing on their first offensive series. They came to play tonight.
Well, I tell you what, I think the officials may have missed one there. Coach Perry on this sideline is not real happy about what he's seeing because what they do is Lexington Catholic all year long, they take the tailback, the back that's behind the fullback, the quarterback, and he steps one side or the other. They may have called that penalty, and it's not really.
Thompson to the 45, and Andy's going to be run out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Shuey over there again hustling after him, along with Dominic Morrison for the Golden Lions of Garrett County.
It's really tough, Gary, for us to run instant replays on Lexington Catholic because their tempo is so fast.
2nd down and 9 for the Knights, and Thompson. He's got triple receivers out to the top at the 43-yard line. Thompson looking left, now rolling to the right. He's got some running room over there. He's going to tuck it. He's at the 40. Andy cuts it back 30, run out of bounds. He's got the first down near the 31. They actually mark him about the 30-yard line. So Thompson with a good job of tucking the football, Coach, and picking up the first down.
Yeah, he's not afraid to run. He's actually a very good runner, and when he got the corner, he could see the real estate in front of him, and he wasn't going to throw the football. He's going to get the first down himself. Back to spreading the field. Look at this.
Triple receivers to the top. Here's Thompson, delayed draw. Andy, and he is going to – here's a flag coming down. That may be another hold against the Knights, which would be their 3rd critical penalty. Remember, they had a touchdown that was returned by Morris called back with the block in the back, and I think we're going to have another holding call here.
I think we got a face mask, but it may be against Catholic.
So you're right, it was
it's against the defense.
Good call,
right,
Coach.
Good call. Face mask penalty.
You saw that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that'll be marked off against Garrett County with Catholic already leading 7-6 on a 55-yard Andy Thompson to Donovan Moore's strike.
All right, this is where Ogbugu is really dangerous down here.
Thompson out of the pistol again with Jones behind him. Slides right, gives to Jalen. Jalen down and running hard, still on his feet. Jalen to the 5 and trying to take it bullet to the house. What a great run there by Jalen Jones.
He did. It was amazing. He kept his feet moving. 22 for Garrett County. Dominic Morrison had a beat on him, but just couldn't bring him down.
1st and goal at the 4, and a nice run there by Jalen Jones. Well, he would not go down. Remember, early in the season, Jalen was playing with that big cast on his right hand. He got that off a few weeks ago and has played well ever since he broke his hand in the, I believe it was a scrimmage game, I believe?
Yeah, the first scrimmage, I think.
5:07 here. We'll step out here on PrepSpin, and we thank White, Greer, and Maggard for being the title sponsor. 7-6, Lexington Catholic leading Garrett County and on the march.
Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's Restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's is a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you.
Welcome back here to Joseph K. Ford Stadium. It's 1st and goal for Lexington Catholic at the 4 of Garrett County.
Whoa.
And the quarterback Thompson with Jones behind him. He slides, gives it to Jalen. Jalen hit and dropped immediately on a good play by the big fella there for Garrett County, big number 88. And when I say big fella, he is huge. He goes 6'6", 235.
Did you notice the huge gap in between the center and the guard for Lexington Catholic on the right side? I thought for sure they were going to trap that man, run to that side with the trap, and yet they slanted back to this side. I honestly don't think that was the play. I think Coach Perry's not happy about that.
Is that why he called the timeout?
I would say he probably was. There was a discombobulation in that, because when you take a guard and you spread him that far out, that's usually to move that tackle out so you can trap him and run inside him.
Right.
No, they ran back to the short side to the A gap on the weak side.
Well, Lexington Catholic got the scoring started as Andy Thompson hooked up with Donovan Morris on a 55-yard strike. And then Garrett County came right back. Devin Logan, their outstanding junior running back, had a big 45-yard run, and then they took it in. Crutchfield, the quarterback, took it in from 4 yards out, but they missed the two-point conversion. 4:48 here at 2nd down and goal for Catholic at the 5 of Garrett County.
Missing that extra point helps Lexington Catholic, because even if they don't score, they can kick a field goal, puts them up, by 4.
Andy Thompson gives you that other dimension back there, quarterback, doesn't he? Thompson, he's going to cut it back inside. He's going to be pulled down. A nice tackle there. And that's the same big dude we were talking about, Davis, number 88.
Yes, it was.
At 6'6", 240. Boy, Davis has made a couple of nice plays down here. And he's a big dude at 6'6", 240, isn't he?
Yeah, Jared Davis came in here and just wrapped him up and threw him down like he was tackling
a ragdoll.
Yeah, it looked like one of those guys that wrestled those steers down in the rodeos.
Aaron Rose, the commissioner of the wrestling, wants to take a look at that guy, because he can wrestle them down.
Wide trips.
3rd down and goal, and Thompson delayed, and Thompson, and he is going to try to get it. Ball comes out of there, but right in the hands of a Catholic player, a lineman, and he takes it in for the touchdown. That was Gerhardstein, and as Andy Thompson reached the ball out, Gerhardstein took it in for the touchdown.
Andy Thompson tried to reach the ball out to go over the goal line, but he was laying on players. So if we can get a replay of that, William, it would be really neat, because it looked like he was reaching out to put the ball over the goal line. And after this extra point, maybe we can get a look at that, Gary. And you were right, it popped out fortuitously into the lineman Gerhardstein's hands.
So here comes the extra point, and it's 13-6, and they'll just kick the extra point, whereas Garrett went for 2 with 4:06, placement down, and the kick is up, and it is good.
Well, watch Andy here in the replay. He goes in, he's driving to the goal line, he's not down, he reaches the ball out.
It's knocked
hit out of his hand.
Right into Gerhardstein's hand. That's what I said. It was knocked right into his hands.
Unbelievable. He's reaching the ball out to go over. A player for the Golden Lions comes in with his helmet and knocks the ball right to Gerhardstein. Like a pull shot right to Gerhardstein for a touchdown.
14-6, Catholic leads Garrett County on a very fortuitous bounce to Mr. Gerhardstein of Lexington Catholic. They lead at 14-6, 4:06 to go here. This is Joseph K. Ford Stadium, campus of Lexington Catholic. It's the 3A playoffs.
Well, Central is up over Boyle 13-0, 14-0 right now. So, that's an important game for these two teams here.
And let's find out 99, Coach, for Catholic. That's who kicked the 99 for Catholic. It's Rios kicking off, but 99 just kicked the extra point for.
I got him.
I don't believe they said it was Rios. It was 99.
Now, see, 99. Yeah, 99, according to here, is Hunter Fry.
Yeah, it was Hunter Fry who kicked the extra point.
Yeah.
So Fry with the extra point, and here's Rios with the kick. And it's a kick that will be taken at about the 8. Coming out there with it is Garrett County, the 30, far sideline, and up near midfield. Nice return there, taken in by Mike Redmond, the 6'3 senior Redmond with a nice return. Redmond really took that to the house.
They've got some runners on this football team. There's like 3 different people now that showed tremendous skill running the football.
So Mike Redmond nearly took it to the house for Garrett County. 14-6 here, 3:58 to go in the first quarter. Gary Ball, Coach Mike Mee, and William Warfield, of course, producing. And, Coach, it doesn't get much better than the playoffs in Kentucky.
Oh, I love it, love it. Perfect weather for it, clear sky, cool temperatures. It's perfect. There's that wishbone.
Yep, wishbone for Garrett County and Slade Crutchfield. He slides. He gives now to Foley. Foley, he's got some running room. Foley, he's to the 30-yard line on about an 18-yard pickup. Boy, Craig Foley lowered that shoulder. They actually mark him at the 32. Rawati made the stop, but what a nice run there by Foley.
He's got a crease. That big offensive line is creating a small crease for him to bust through, and he's got skills running the football.
3:51 to go here. Remember, this Garrett County team has won 7 football games. They're a pretty good football team, Coach.
Pretty good football team. There's a dark formation to us, weak side to the backside.
Crutchfield this time gives to Logan, and Logan to about the 30, maybe a yard or two for Devin Logan. The other juniors, we said Logan and Jacob Foley combined for 1,000 yards apiece as sophomores. So they knew coming back this year, Fago helped out but on that tackle, but they knew coming back, Coach, that they had a couple 1,000-yard rushers coming back from Garrett County.
I'm really impressed with the play call. There's nothing wrong with that play. I know people say, well, they only gained a yard or so on it, but that's setting up that keep. He's trying to force that edge player to come in tight so they can run outside him.
Second down. Crutchfield, and he diving down is the fullback, and that's going to be Josh Warren, the first carry for Warren tonight, the 180-pound sophomore, and he got pretty good yardage down to about the 25, where to bring up third down and about 3.
This is when they're most dangerous here because it is a 4-down zone.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Lexington Catholic, there's no defense that can cover everything that can be run here on 3rd and 2 yards or 3 yards when it's in the 4-down zone.
Warren is the dotting that wishbone with Foley and Logan. This time Crutchfield, and he dives to about the 22. Close.
I don't think he made it. I think
He's just shy, don't you, Coach?
Yeah, I do from up here.
Looks like from our angle maybe about a half a yard shy, but as you said, before that play, they're in 4-down territory, obviously.
They're fine.
We're approaching the 2-minute mark of the first period. Lexington Catholic 14, Garrett County 6.
Well, I would be going with Foley right here for sure.
Either that or, you got a 6'3 quarterback who already ran in a touchdown. Maybe you just let your quarterback keep it. See what they do here. Slade Crutchfield at 6'3. He's going to give it now. Foley, and Foley
he didn't
dives into it. Not much there, though. Catholic thinks they stopped him. It depends on the mark. Remember, they only needed about half a yard. I think with the mark, he may have gotten it, Coach.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a great job by Catholic. They put about an 8-man down line, and they submarined the offensive players and forced them to fall on top of them.
I think Foley, Foley runs so hard, and it was his extra effort. They are going to measure, I believe, Coach, but it looks from up here in the press box that they may have it. Catholic thinks they stopped him, but looks like from the angle up here that they might have gotten him about a half a yard.
Yeah, it's close, though, but you're right. I think so, too.
Minute 50 here in the first period. Lexington Catholic 14, Garrett County 6, and they stretched the chains, and no, they missed it by inches. So Garrett County stopped by inches.
That's a big, big stop. Well, Gary, we're 0 for 1 here, buddy, in guessing those.
Actually, we're 1 for 2. We called one right earlier.
Oh, yeah, well, okay.
So 1 for 2 is better than 0 for 1. 50% is better than nothing.
You got it right.
But anyway, I thought they had it.
Now, here we go with the tempo. Lexington Catholic does not mess around. That's one of the things that Coach Perry really believes in. Look at that gap again between the guard and the center.
Thompson's going to give to Morris, the motion guy on the sweep. Donovan to the 25. I've upended at the 26-yard line. And let's see who came up there to upend. Looked like Mike Redmond got him there. Yeah, Mike Redmond got him on the stop pickup of about 4 seconds down to 6. How big was that stop for Catholic defensively?
It's huge, and it might be much bigger if they can drive it down here and score.
Second down at the 27. They need 6 for the first down. Thompson, everybody checking the wristband now. He's got 3 receivers out to the top, Agbugu to the bottom. Thompson backpedaling. Thompson looking. He's going to throw it fired down the middle on the right side, and it is going to be caught by Morris again. He's at the 20, 15, 10, and he is going to be gone. Touchdown. 73-yard strike, Coach, from Thompson to Morris.
That's good coaching right there. It's good coaching. They're spreading the team out. They spread them out with 3 wides on one side. They isolate Morris on the backside, run a guy down the middle to pull the safety over, and then throw it one-on-one down here.
We're going to take a look at that again.
We're going to look at the replay while the extra point here is getting ready to be kicked. We'll take a look at it. We can't see what's going on in the secondary. They ran a guy on the hash, but the guy running down the middle, the player who ran down the middle of the field created the seam to allow this play to develop. And then Morris just outran.
What a beautifully thrown football.
It was beautiful.
Right on the mark. He didn't have to break stride, Coach.
Right. And Chris Thompson cleared the middle out, forced the safety to cover him, and it was one-on-one on the backside, Gary.
So Hunter Fry in with the extra point, and it's up, and it is good. Hunter Fry with the extra point. 1:05 to go, and the Andy Thompson to Donovan Morris connection strikes again. 73 yards this time. Hunter Fry's extra point makes it Lexington Catholic 21, Garrett County 6. And we'll return here on PrepSpin to Lexington Catholic football and Russell Athletic Commonwealth Gridiron Bowl 3A playoffs.
Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's Restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's is a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you.
Welcome back here to Lexington Catholic. Here's the short kick, and it's going to be recovered by Catholic on the onside kick. Coach, the ball went to 10 yards, and they covered Andy Hickey there with the recovery. So Catholic will get the ball right back, Coach.
Unbelievable. Really good. Again, Coach Perry's pulling out all the stops.
It's
and that
the playoffs.
ball just got past that 10-yard strike. That was a really nice job here. 21-6. We got a minute to go, Gary. Minute and 3 seconds, and Catholic might pull another one off.
21-6. They get the onside kick recovered by Andy Hickey, and Garrett County is going to call a quick timeout. They're a little bit discombobulated with the recovery there by Andy Hickey. 21-6. And Coach, back to that play by Garrett County, the 4th and inches or the 4th and short. It really looked like Foley had that first down, especially the side judge that came running in. But they said they missed it by inches. And as you said, what does Catholic do? They come right back and throw a 73-yard strike to Morris, and boy, they make it hurt.
Yeah, you're trying to get the big play right after a stop like that, and boy, they got it. And Morris is having one heck of a game. Amazing.
That's exactly right. Yeah, Morris is having huge. He's got 2 touchdown catches, one of 55, one of 73.
Yeah, and I heard a little comment over here with the people from over here at Garrett County, and they're right. On that onside kick, the team that's receiving the ball does not have to wait for it to go 10 yards.
Right.
They can step inside the 10-yard zone to get it.
Yep.
And I think that players waited for it, and it rolled, and Lexington Catholic got to it first.
Yeah, and Hickey did a great job of pouncing on it there for Lex Cath. Minute 3, and Coach, coming up at halftime. We got the second quarter to go, but at halftime we got the UFOs, your unheralded football overachievers.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Actually, I have an interview with somebody I've been looking forward to talking to, a Lexington Catholic official.
So here comes Catholic back with it after the onside kick recovered by Hickey.
Oh,
quarterback getting pressure, rolling to the left. Thompson rolling back to the right, being chased by Shuey. And he's to the 40, and Thompson's going to be knocked down at the 35-yard line.
That was a big hit on him, too. One guy turned him around, and another Garrett player came in and wiped him out.
Garrett County thought their player was being held back here at the 40, Coach.
There was some hand play going on for sure. I wouldn't call it holding, but it could have been a little push in the back.
35-yard line, and Andy Thompson with Jones behind him. Look over toward the sideline with 44 seconds to go here. 21-6, Lexington Catholic on top of Garrett County here. And we know that Central leads Boyle 13-0 in that one. At Louisville Central, handoff to Jones. Stutter's dancing into the line, and he's to the Jalen Jones running hard to the 30, down about the 28-yard line. Boy, Jalen Jones, Coach, that's the second or third run tonight we've seen by JJ that he would just not go down, refuse to lose, as they say.
And again, Foley's in there defensively. Jacob Foley had a hold of him, and he dragged Jacob Foley a few yards.
Second down at about 4 for Thompson. Jones shifts.
Oh.
Thompson, and there's going to be a flag down.
There's movement. The right tackle for Lexington Catholic flinched on that one.
So that'll bring them back to a 2nd and 8, 3.5 seconds to go here in the first quarter. This is the Russell Athletic Commonwealth Gridiron Bowl 3A playoffs at Joseph K. Ford Stadium at Lexington Catholic High School. Gary Ball, Coach Mike Meehan, and William Moorfield producing.
Big Woodford Langford, number 6'4", and 267-pound junior, he kind of flinched on that play. He's too anxious to get out there and block, right. Gary Ball.
And that's going to do it for the first quarter as they do wind the clock down. We head to the second quarter, and the big story in the first was the Andy Thompson to Donovan Morris connection. They hooked up twice, 55 and 73 yards, and they lead Garrett County 21-6 with the football when we come back at the 32-yard line. 21-6, Lex Cath will return here on the PrepSpin Game of the Week here at Lexington Catholic after this timeout.
It's Olive Garden's 20th anniversary of Never Ending Possible, so we're celebrating by offering you over 20 delicious choices starting at $9.99, like our new homemade chicken pomodoro sauce, creamy pesto Alfredo, and toppings like crispy chicken Frita. Plus, enjoy unlimited super salad and breadsticks. Hurry, it's all never ending, but only for a limited time. 20 years of Never Ending Possible, over 20 choices, starting at $9.99 at Olive Garden. We're all family here. Breadstick lovers, your new favorite lunch is here. New breadstick sandwiches.
You know, the Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle, but excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Under Armour, get your feet straight.
Andy Thompson getting pressure, sets up a screen, and it's caught at the 35 by Bugu. He stiff arms a man, 20, 10, and he's going to take it to the house. Yeah, J.J. Agbugu from Thompson.
Little bubble screen on the backside. Maybe it may have been a tunnel screen, but it looked like a bubble screen. He stepped back to the quarterback. Andy Thompson did a really good job of selling that play. Threw a nice pass out to Agbudu, did the rest, just got down the sideline.
You know, Garrard was coming with the blitz there. They were getting some pressure on Thompson, but he did a good job, as you said, selling that.
Yeah, he did selling it, and he did exactly what he's coached to do. You drop back and then step back. It basically is what you do. You draw the defensive line in before you throw the football.
Well, Garrett County had to come back from 21-0 last time these two teams played. Let's take a look at that replay of that screen pass to J.J. after the extra point here by Hunter Fry, and the kick is up, and it's good, 28-6, and now we'll take a look at that replay.
Again, yeah, it's a little bubble screen. He's got two linemen out, nice blocking out in front of him, big lineman out there, cuts down the sideline. Another great block downfield by 63, I guess that's Woodford Langford, making up for that offsides penalty.
Well, if you're Garrett County, Coach Meehan, you're down 28-6 to this offense from Lexington Catholic that you haven't been able to slow down at all.
No, and you know what? They're not a good team to be behind the chains like this. They always want to keep in front of the chains if they can, drive the football using their running game. They don't like to be behind the chains or behind in the score. So this is a tough comeback for them, but we saw it before. They were down 21-0 before and came back in another game. If they can control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football, get a rush on Thompson. That's the weakness right now, is they're letting Thompson stand back there and have all day to throw.
And how about Coach Perry throwing out all the stops? The onside kick last time by Catholic, and it paid dividends. Hickey recovered it, and then they threw the screen touchdown to Agbugu.
Riverboat Perry, they call him. He's gambling on all this stuff now.
That's exactly right.
I love it, though.
11:49 to go in the first half, and Lexington Catholic is leading Garrett County 28-6. They played earlier in the season, and Catholic won 28-16. 11:49, and here comes the Rios kick with Redmond back deep, and also Devin Logan. This kick will go to Redmond. Redmond will take it at the 10.
He's dangerous.
Redmond dancing. He's at the 20. Redmond, and he is going to take it up to about the 25-yard line. So the return there by Mike Redmond, and Garrett County will have it there, and 11:42 to go, Coach.
I know, and it's really, really, really tight. Again, they're going to have to drive this football if they can. So
we're back. We're on, of course, the White Greer Maggard Game of the Week with Coach Mike Meehan, Gary Ball with William Warfield, and Mike Redmond just returned it to the 25, 15-yard return, and the Garrett County Golden Lions find themselves trailing this high-powered Catholic offense 28-6, 11:42 in the first half.
Well, look at Catholic. There's 11 men within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Foley, and he's got a little bit of room up to about the 29, driven backwards there by the defense of Eric Foster, the outside linebacker, the junior, Eric Foster.
Nice job by him. And, again, Lexington Catholic is saying you're not going to throw the football. You're just not going to. They've got 11 men within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
The danger with that, though, is if you do get into the secondary, you're going to take it a long way if you're Garrett County.
Yeah, but that secondary is a good tackling secondary, so they're going to try to make those tackles if they break through. They're going to have to open it up a little bit. Sooner or later, they're going to have to try to back Lexington Catholic off.
2nd down and 6 at the 29 for Garrett County. Out of the wishbone, quarterback Crutchfield looks. He's going to throw.
He's got him open.
He's got Shuey, but he overshoots him up at the 40-yard line. He had Clay Shuey wide open. Overshot him at the 40.
That was a nice job. Coach understands football, and he understands that you cannot play against 11 men on the line of scrimmage and run the ball every down. If that pass was accurate, it would have been at least a 25-yard gain.
Oh, yeah, Shuey would have probably taken that up, as you say, for up to the midfield stripe or beyond. He would have caught it beyond the 40. So.
Well, let's see if that backs Lexington Catholic off a little bit now.
Makes them think, doesn't it?
Yeah, makes them think. It makes them think, well, they can do it. They want to throw. So it would have been better if he would have completed it.
Yeah, Slade Crutchfield, 6'3" senior for Garrett County. 3rd down. Up near the 30. Slides right, gives to Logan. He's got some room. He's got a seam, and he's up to the 42-yard line with a nice 14-yard pickup by Devin Logan, the junior 170-pounder. And, boy, Logan's got some he's got some quick feet, Coach.
I like those two backs. Both of them can run the ball well. That was on the tight end side that time. If you noticed that they did back the corner off that time because that tight end broke loose on that one last play. And that's where they ran, too, where that corner backed off.
This is a big offensive series for Garrett County. They're down by 3 scores with 10:28 to go in the first half, and they need to sustain one here, chew up some of that clock. Here's the give again to Logan. Logan, and he is down to the 45-yard line. 13-yard pickup there for Devin Logan, following up that 14-yard gain. And I tell you what, they're finding something up front, Coach, with that offensive line of Garrett County. They're seeing something right up the middle.
Yeah, they're turning out on those tackles. And the way Logan runs the football, shoulders down, low, both hands on the football, he's a power runner.
So 10 minutes and 6 seconds here remaining, first half, and Logan with good back-to-back runs, and he sets up with Foley and Warren. This time they give to Foley, and he keeps his balance, and down to the 30. A good job by Foley. He was hit at the 42, kept his balance, so finally Pedroshi there making the hit, but that's a great job there by Foley to keep his balance.
Yeah, this is where they want to be. See, they want to be second and short when they can. They've got 2nd and 3. They know that they can drive the football and get 3 or 4 yards every crack. That stop by Lexington Catholic earlier in the first quarter, that was a big one.
It sure was. And Garrett County now on the march, 2nd down and 3. They are at the 38 of Lexington Catholic, and a must opportunity here, down 28-6. They've got to take something in here. Here's the quarterback, Crutchfield. He's going to keep it. He's got some room to the 30. He is to the 20. It's a foot race. 10, and Crutchfield's going to take it to the house. 38-yard touchdown run.
They run that keep, and I'm telling you what they did. They've been running that, what I call the dark formation, the unbalanced one side, but that time they balanced it. Lexington Catholic, they really didn't shift over. They stayed in the unbalanced look, Quarterback kept the ball around the corner, touchdown. Nice job.
You talked about the play. That was a great play call right there.
It was a great play call. Super play call. They set things up, and that's what I like about a good coaching staff. They actually set plays up for the next play. They're looking forward. They're looking ahead. They're like chess players out there. Two good coaches, two good staffs, Gary.
Yeah, they must be having some issues with their kicker because they're going for 2 again, Coach.
Yeah, well.
They went for 2 the first time they scored. They're going Crutchfield. What a great 38-yard TD run. Gives it up to Gut Warren driving down, and he may be stopped again. Yeah, and he is. So stopped short of the 2-point conversion. 9:09 to go here on the White Greer Maggard Game of the Week, and it is Lexington Catholic 28, Garrett County 12. We'll return after this on PrepSpin.
Tackle by number 11, Zach Middleton, along with number 59, Dylan Coulter. And with 9:09 remaining in the
Folks,
first
this is
half,
Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's Restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you.
Back here on the White Greer Maggard High School Football Game of the Week on PrepSpin. Gary Ball with Coach Mike Meehan. Good answer there by Garrett County and Slade Crutchfield in particular with an outstanding 38-yard TD run.
Hey, they're a good football team. They're in their second round of the playoffs. They're not going to fall behind 28 to 6 and not try to come back. It's a good football team, good coaching staffs, both sides.
Here's a kick taken in by the Knights at the 15-yard line. That's Thompson. Andy Dancing. He is to the 30, breaking tackles and ankles to the 35, and finally 40, still on his feet, and Andy Dancing cuts it back, and he's finally going to be tackled at about the 43-yard line. I tell you what, there were about 3 ankles, and some folks lost some laundry on that one.
Right, and what happened was, if you watch it, it was really fun to watch because number 6 for Garrett County, Nick McCollum, he missed him twice. But he ended up making the tackle.
Can you imagine the film room?
Yeah, but then he ended up coming back and making the tackle. He said, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to get him one way or another.
Third time's a charm, right?
It's a big kid, big kid.
28-12, 8:52 here in the first half. The White Greer Maggard High School Football Game of the Week here at the 3A playoffs. Here is Jones dancing 45. Jalen hit by Foley and dropped at the 45, maybe the 46. Jacob Foley there showing that he's not only a great running back, he's a good defender making that stop.
Nice and low. He comes in there and makes the tackle. I think I heard the PA announcer say that was a record for Lexington Catholic on returns that was just set.
By Mr.
Total
Thompson.
Yardage, yes.
Yeah, Andy Thompson. Here's Thompson rolling to the right. Sets, left throws. It's caught and up to the down to the 45, 40-yard line. I believe that was Morris. Yep. Oh, no, it was Chris Thompson. Excuse me.
Yeah, Chris
Hard
Thompson.
to see those numbers when you got the black jerseys, Coach, but that was Chris Thompson.
Right. Nice play, though. Nice throw by Andy. Very good quarterback.
His brother said, about time you go to me tonight. You've been throwing everything to Akbugu and Morris. Of course, Morris has 2 big touchdown catches. Here's a give down to Jalen.
I love that play.
35, and Jalen down to the 33-yard line.
Yeah, that's just a little power dive, I think. I don't think it's a zone play at all. I think it's just a power dive against that big defensive line.
Morrison and Foley helping out on the stop there for Garrett County. Yeah, they got the wrong down on the, I believe it's second down. They got third down over there on the chain gang. Right. That's usually the home team that provides a chain gang, isn't it?
It is, yes. In the playoffs, yeah, it is still.
Second down and 3, 7:52 to go here in the first half. It is Lexington Catholic 28, Garrett County 12. Here is the handoff to Jones, and Jalen diving first down.
Nice job.
Down to the 27-yard line. Pickup of about 7 for Jalen Jones.
Really, really nice job of blocking out there by Lark Wutcher. 6'2", 200 pounder.
First down for the Knights. Thompson and Agbugu to the top. Here's a give to Jalen, and he's to the 25, and he bulls his way down to the 23-yard line. And looked like Morrison helping out again on the stop. Pick up of about 5, 2nd and 5.
Right, now that time Lexington Catholic pulled the backside tackle to lead that play. That's a nice job to get. You get 4 or 5 yards on that play. It makes you feel pretty good on second down.
You know, Garrett can get a stop here, Coach, and the score. They're right. I mean, they're right back in this game.
Absolutely.
Got to get a stop here, though. Thompson rolling to the right. Andy looking. Thompson, and he's going to tuck it back inside the 20 and dropped right there. Would be 3rd and short.
Yeah, he had a guy open on the sideline. Nice, actually a very good play, a little comeback pattern right on the sideline.
Clay Shuey helped out, the linebacker. Shuey's a good-looking linebacker too, Coach. 6 foot, 200 pounds.
He's everywhere too.
Leading tackler coming in with 84 tackles coming in. 3rd and 3 at the 20 for the Knights. They've got triple receivers to the bottom, twins out to the top for Andy Thompson, and an empty backfield. Thompson.
A lot of room on that on the power side.
Stepping back. Thompson firing. He's got a wide open receiver, and it's a touchdown. Wide open was Thompson. Chris Thompson was wide open, and Andy found him, and it's 34-12.
That was not good defensive look there. Lexington Catholic spread the field wide to the left with 3 receivers. The inside receiver easily broke to the goal line. Not very well covered at all. It's very tough to play one-on-one with those receivers out there. They've got to figure out a way to get into a cover 2 or something. We're going to look at that in replay after the extra point.
Connor Fry will come in out of the hold of Thompson. Thompson does everything, throws touchdowns, returns kicks, holds the extra points on the kicking team.
Oh, it's amazing. Brother to brother, that's just great.
Here's the kick up by Hunter Fry, and it's good.
We're going to look at this replay, Gary. I hope. We're going to see the replay here. Just take a look at this formation and how they set this up. All right, look, you have wideouts on the left side. They're covering them one-on-one out there. Look at that. You can't do that.
Right.
He's going to run right by them, run a hitch over here in a post pattern, what we call a skinny post, and the ball is just thrown perfectly.
And There's
no help over here at all.
Chris Thompson was wide open.
Right. And I think the corner or the strong would be the free safety expected number 5, Jalen McPherson, to come over and help, but he couldn't get there because they occupied him on the other side. Nice job by Perry.
6:27 to go, first half here at the White Greer Maggard High School Football Game of the Week. Gary Ball, Mike Meehan, and William Warfield, and it is 35-12. So already with 6:27 to go in the first half, Catholic has scored more points than they put up in the first meeting when they beat Garrett County 28-16.
Yeah, Garrett County could be careful. This could get away from them real fast if they don't get down here and make another score. It's going to be really important for them to get some confidence going into the halftime.
Coming up at half, Coach Mike Meehan will have his UFOs, Unheralded Football Overachievers. Rio set to kick. You got Mike Redmond and Logan back deep again. Redmond's had a couple nice returns. Here's the kick, and it'll be Redmond again. Redmond will take it to 15. Redmond at the 20. Redmond is going to be hit and dropped at the 21-yard line on the return there by Mike Redmond.
Nice job of tackling. Really secure tackle up there by one of the players on the kicking team. Well, here we go. This is going to be interesting. They're backed up on the 20. They've got to get something going. There's 6 minutes and 21 seconds left to go in the half, Gary. You've got to get some confidence
Exactly right. You're down by 3 scores now after you had come back in pretty good fashion there. At least you got 12 points up on the board. But Garrett County, of course, stopped on that 1 4th and inches was a big play in this game. Hand up the middle running hard is Foley, it looks like.
Yeah,
was that Logan? That was Devin Logan, excuse me.
Yeah, Sharp made the tackle again. He's coming up there hard. Again, Garrett County, the Golden Lions with a quarterback that can run the football, they probably need to run him a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because Lexington Catholic is collapsing on those running plays.
And he's got a nice 38-yard touchdown run to Slade Crutchfield.
Nice.
Crutchfield under center. Crutchfield gives it. Now this time it is Foley, and Jacob takes it up near the 30. Would it be 3rd and short?
3rd and short's very manageable for them, Gary.
A couple of Knights in there defensively.
They're staying with the wishbone, aren't they?
Yeah, Lauterbach helped out, as you heard the public address announcer here. And I will give the PA guy here credit. He gets into the game, doesn't he?
Yeah, he gets in. He's got a spotter over there, too. He's got somebody.
Yeah, folks don't understand. Coach, me and I do these games without a spotter. We are our spotters.
We are the spotters. I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. Lexington Catholic numbers are hard to recognize.
Really difficult. Garrett's are great. I can see Garrett's very well. Here's the give it now to Foley. Foley, and he tries to crack it back, but he does get the first down to the 33 on a little crack back there by Craig Foley. Yeah. And good block up there by the big fella, Davis. And making the play. Sharp was in there on the stop for the Knights defense. Well, Sid Sharp's been in on several plays already in this first half. Approaching the 5-minute mark. Garrett County first down at the 34-yard line. Slade Crutchfield. He gives now to Logan. Logan up to the close to the 38-yard line. Knocked backwards there. Official gave him the 39. So nice pickup there for Logan. And if you're Garrett County, you want to chew up as much of the clock. You don't want to give the ball to Catholic's offense. They've already put 35 points on the board. You want to put some points on the board and at least go into the locker room with some respectability. You're down 35-12, Coach.
Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to say it right now. If they could throw the football, they'd be one of the best teams in 3A by far because this running game's good.
Give to Foley. Foley. And he's to the 43-yard line and finally tripped upended there. And Fago, one of the leading tacklers on this defense, as you know, Coach, Fago.
And we saw him play quarterback in several games. He's a really good athlete.
Fago, Pedroshi, and Andy Hickey all make a ton of tackles for this defense of Lexington Catholic. 3:59 in the first half, and it's 3rd and about 2 for the Golden Lions of Garrett County. Lexington Catholic's all over them right now, 35-12. Here's a give up the gut, and let's see. And they got with the mark. They've got the first down. First down for Garrett County.
Just driving the ball nicely right down the field, doing a nice job. Just driving the ball. They're going to have a bundle of first downs in this first half.
If I'm not mistaken, the first time they played, Garrett had more first downs than Catholic.
Well, of course, if you're running that type of offense, Catholic's getting long 50-some, 80, 70-some yard touchdown passes.
First down for the Golden Lions at the 44, 3.5 to go first half. And Garrett County, they know they need a score here, down by 3. Here's Crutchfield passes, and it's going to be knocked away at the 35, and intended receiver was McCollum.
Yeah, that was they're the Garrett County fans and people are calling for interference, and that could be close. Can we see that again, William? You think?
We'll try to take a look at that again. 3:20 to go. You get spoiled by that instant replay, don't you, Coach?
Yeah, well, I do. I mean, I think on these close calls, it's kind of important to see this. Right, that's fine, good. We just want to see whether that looks like interference. Real quickly.
As back to throw, and hard to tell.
They didn't catch it, yeah, it's hard to tell.
Penalty markers are down before.
Good, we didn't miss anything.
What the call is there in the flag. Waiting to see what the officials say.
It's tough, I tell you. It's tough to catch up with that.
Somebody might have jumped off, offside for a Catholic, so that'll give it down up near midfield.
Been a pretty clean game so far as far as penalties go.
Stay with us throughout the playoffs. Next week we'll have a regional championship game. And I understand Lafayette was leading Henry Clay early on, Coach.
Yeah, I think it's real close, though. It's like 7-6 or something.
Right. And Central was leading Boyle, 13-0?
Yes.
Second down here up near midfield for the Golden Lions of Garrett County. Motion by Redmond. And they give it now to Foley. And Foley just upended on an ankle tackle there. There comes a late flag in.
Yeah, that flag flew about 30 feet in the air. So
sure did.
It was a definite penalty by that line judge over there.
So flag comes flying in. And looks like it's going to be against, I'm not going to speculate, but it looks like it's going to be against Catholic, something after the play. Now they're going to come over and tell us about it here. Personal foul. Yeah, personal foul against Catholic.
Must have been a late hit or something on the sideline because it was. You're right. It was thrown high right there on the sideline.
That's 15-yarder. It takes it down to the 33. Coach, how critical would it be for Garrett to take one down here and punch one in the end zone?
I think it's very important that they do it. And they're taking up a lot of time. That'll put them pretty much back in the football game if they can do it. But they've got 3 minutes, and they're not a team that hurries very much.
2:58 here in the first half. Garrett County lines, and they give now to Foley. And Foley, he's got some room. And Foley bullying down the far sideline. They mark him out at about the 24-yard line.
Good job of getting out of bounds, too, Gary. That way, stop that clock and get this thing going.
It'll be interesting to look at those first half stats, won't it, Coach?
It will be. I mean, the number of first downs, I bet they have 20 first downs. Do we have a stat man here tonight?
Yeah, I believe the stat crew is over there. Yeah, there's a stat crew. We'll grab some stats at halftime. Second down, about a yard. Foley picked up nearly 10 on that. They marked him out at the 24. Crutchfield and give up the gut, and Foley's got the first down. So he takes it to the 21-yard line, first down. So they'll move the chains again. And, Coach, you said it very, very well. Coach Perry of Garrett County, he says we have got to stay in front of the chains. We're not a good football team playing from behind the chains.
No, they got to stay in front of the chains, and they're doing a really good job on this drive of doing it. I would expect any minute now for them to run that quarterback keep again. Very much committed to come inside to punish Foley when he runs the football.
And, of course, Crutchfield's got a 38-yard TD scamper, the quarterback. Motion, and he gives it to his motion man, and that's Redmond. And he's got very little running room, maybe a yard or so to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, they're trying to run
Pedroshi and company there, and also Foster.
They're trying to run the. I'm sorry, Gary. I keep stepping on your toes there, but they're trying to run the end around. They got away from their wishbone look that time. Redmond's a good runner, but he's got to understand. He's got to turn his shoulders and get upfield in these crucial situations.
We have 2 minutes and 3 seconds to go. The first half, and Garrett County on the march. They've got it second down at the 20 of Catholic, but the Knights lead 35-12 here in the second round of the 3A Russell Athletic Commonwealth Gridiron Bowl playoffs. Timeout called by the Golden Lions with a minute 50.
Yeah, they called a timeout. They weren't happy with the way Catholic lined up on that. They've been running wishbone the whole time, and now they're in a one-back set. Spread the field a little bit, use these motion men, kind of like a little bit like you see Navy and some of those teams.
Right.
Run.
Minute 50, Coach, and as you said, I like the quarterback. I mean, they got him out on a scamper earlier. He went 38 yards for the TD with that compact, as you said, 9-10 guys in the box there for Lexington.
Yeah, they're going to look at that, and they're getting tired of seeing the Lexington Cat piled up inside, stopping their runs off tackle and off guard. So they're spreading the field now, trying something different. Now, I have to admit, I've never seen what they do from this. I've never seen this formation before, so I don't know what they're trying to do. Usually this is a passing formation, but they don't like to throw. So maybe they're going to try to run the quarterback a little more.
By the way, Coach, it's great to be back with you in William Moore Field. It's been a while since we've all worked together on a football game.
It is, and it's a great night, and I miss it. I'm telling you what, I sit at home on Friday nights when we don't go. I actually went to a game and stood on the sideline and watched the game.
You have withdrawals, don't you?
I do. I mean, I like high school football.
Minute 50 here in the first half. Let's see what Garrett County can do here. They will send McCollum out to the top. Foley is Redmond in motion. Here's Crutchfield getting pressure. Crutchfield circles the wagons.
Nice.
He's going to tuck it. He's at the 15. Nice running there. Boy, this Slade Crutchfield kid can run the football.
Yeah, what year is he, Gary? Do you have his?
He's a senior.
Senior. I tell you what, not bad. Nice size. He's got he has a nice movement with the football. Kind of curled back and had a nice little run.
Yeah,
there.
he's about a yard shy of the first down there. Picked up 8. So, but I tell you what, he circled the wagons there with a lot of pressure coming after him, Coach, and nearly picked up the first down.
Right, and it didn't hurt him. He ran out of bounds. He did everything right on that play. He didn't force himself to try to get the first down and stay in bounds and keep the clock running.
Garrett County, of course, big plays tonight. Donovan Morris has 2 big touchdown catches of 55 and 73. Chris Thompson hauled one in from about 35 yards out. Here's Foley trying to bounce it. Foley, and he has got the first down and more to the 7 where he's finally tackled there.
Yeah, this is a nice job what they're doing now. They're back in the one-back formation. They got Foley in the backfield. They spread Lexington Catholic out a little bit, and they run the fullback belly off tackle. And the belly play was there. It was big time there.
First down and inside the 10, first and goal at the 7. Redmond will be the motion guy. They will give to Foley. He's hit at the 5 and dropped immediately. And Fago, it looked like, making the
Zach Middleton.
Middleton.
Middleton came in there and made a nice tackle. They ran weak side that time. They motioned to the strong side and ran the weak side belly and didn't get much on it.
Minute 5 to go here in the first half. And Garrett County trying to score here late in the first half. Second down and goal at the 5-yard line. We're going to have another timeout, Coach. Timeout called by the Knights of Lex Cath here with a minute 2 to go here in this first half. And we'll step out here on the White Greer Maggard High School Football Game of the Week. Playoffs, 35-12, Catholic leads.
Choosing a college is a major decision.
So why did I choose WKU?
Because at WKU, professors are experts in their field.
I'm encouraged to study abroad.
And make the whole world my classroom.
And where I get real-world experience.
Doing exactly what I want to do.
And where I have all the tools I need to prepare for a successful future.
It's all within my reach at Western Kentucky University.
Gary Ball, Coach Mike Meehan, and William Warfield back here on the Lexington Catholic game with Garrett County here on the White Greer Maggard Game of the Week. And it's second down and goal at the 5 for the Golden Lions. Slade Crutchfield sends Redmond in motion, looks to pass, throws it, and he's got and he looks down, and he's going to tuck it, and he gets to the corner, touchdown. Boy, Crutchfield fake. He had Shuey wide open in the back of the end zone. For inexplicably didn't throw him the football, but he goes ahead and runs it in anyway.
Lexington Catholic committed themselves to the rush, and he just got outside it, and he said, well, wait a minute. I can throw for a touchdown, I can run for a touchdown.
I believe if I'm the quarterback of Garrett, I'll throw the football.
I don't know. Maybe you get your stats.
Well, I'm talking about for the film. Yeah. Another team, hey, they can throw it a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
30. They go for 2 here,
and
they have made a. You know what? We have wondered about this too. They have made about 70% of their 2-point conversions this year, Garrett County.
Oh, well, that's what they're doing.
That's why they're going for 2 again.
It would help them to make this one.
Yes. And there's a flag down as somebody jumped offside there. 35-18, though. Garrett County here late in the first half with a late touchdown on the run by Crutchfield. That's his second rushing touchdown of the game. Remember, he had a 38-yarder earlier, Coach.
Yep, he did. And now this penalty is going to be against Garrett County. Yeah, yep. They must have had 12 men on the field.
Yep.
They must have had an extra guy on the field, but I'll tell you what.
Right.
That hurts. Now, what do you do here?
Well, they're still going to go for 2.
Well, they are going to go for 2, but, I mean, it kind of limits your power.
Sure does.
But, again, they can run that quarterback.
Slade Crutchfield with 2 big touchdowns rushing for Garrett County.
Unbalanced line. Here he goes.
Slade he's going to pitch at the last moment, and they will not get in. Nice play over there. I think that was nice play there by the defense, and that was Davis Rawati making that play. So Rawati with the play. 55 seconds to go, first half. It is Lexington Catholic 35, Garrett County 18. High-scoring affair here at the Joseph K. Ford Stadium. We're returning on the White Greer Maggard High School Football Game of the Week.
You know, the Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle, but excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Under Armour, get your feet straight.
Welcome back to the Russell Athletic Commonwealth Gridiron Bowl 3A playoffs. Gary Ball, Mike Meehan, William Warfield here. Lexington Catholic leading 35-18, but this Garrett County team can put up some points too, Coach.
Right, and maybe you make a mistake giving Lexington Catholic the ball with 55 seconds to go.
Onside a short kick, and they returned up to the 45-yard line. Donovan does. You got to watch it. Coach, you said it. Maybe they let him score. Well, I don't know if they did, but there's still 49 seconds to go here for Catholic's offense.
Yeah, if they keep missing 2-point conversions and you keep scoring, you're not going to catch up.
35-18. Catholic leads. Lexington Catholic. The Knights came in with 8-3 record and 7-4 Garrett County here in the playoffs. Andy Thompson sets a screen over to Morris. He's at the 45. And
nice
that's a good tackle there, though. Nicely done by Clay Shuey, the linebacker.
It was a nice job. We've called Shuey's name quite a bit.
Yes.
He's in a whole lot of plays on this football team.
Coach, what you got coming up for us at halftime? Or UFO?
I have a UFO for Lexington Catholic that we're going to turn into an interview.
Gotcha.
An interesting interview.
Thompson back out of the shotgun. Thompson, and he is going to tuck it up midfield and be tackled right there.
Got to throw the ball, buddy.
Thompson, Shuey there with the hit again, and Foley. And somebody lost part of their, Foley even goes help Catholic get some equipment. 16 seconds, Coach.
I'm telling you what, I would love to have, if I was coaching a football team, I'd love to have Mr. Foley on my football team.
Yep.
He is a tough customer.
You know, he's not the biggest kid in the world. He's, what, 5? They list him at 5'9", 185 pounds.
Yeah, but it looks like 185 pounds of solid muscle.
That's right, because it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's made some tackles tonight. And I tell you one kid we haven't talked about enough, Sid Sharp for Lexington Catholic. He's been on numerous plays tonight.
Yeah, he has been. I actually I'm kind of surprised because in previous games that we've done, I haven't mentioned him very much. We haven't seen him. But, boy, I tell you what, he's in everything tonight.
Yeah, we'll check the stats at halftime and tell you how many missed tackles Mr. Sharp does have tonight. And I know Fago's got a bunch. And they've been all over the place. There's been 3 or 4 players for Catholic making a lot of plays tonight defensively. But right now, the Garrett County defense has got to step up. 3rd down and 4. Football is in Garrett County territory. 16.8 seconds here to go in the first half, 35-18. Catholic leading Garrett County.
They're back in the cover 2
Here's
now.
Thompson. Thompson looking, fires it over the left side, underthrows the receiver, but he comes back and gets it at the 25, breaks a tackle, and he's being chased to the 10. The 5 is going to take it in for the touchdown.
I told you, you don't give them 55 seconds. You don't give Lexington Catholic 55 seconds tonight.
J.J. Ogbugu.
And you know what, Gary? Garrett County was in the perfect defense. They're in a cover 2. They dropped their linebackers off, and yet they can still, you know, the ball was thrown short. And Ogbugu came back to get it. Wow.
Ogbugu with the 49-yard reception. He becomes the 3rd all-time leading receiver, Coach. Are we going to take a look at that again?
Yeah, we're going to take a look at that again. And what you're going to see is that it's pretty well covered by the corner out there. Now, he didn't get much help. That's, again, the problem. When you run a cover 2, you're not supposed to allow that receiver to get outside you. And if we'll look at this, you'll see that Ogbugu gets outside the corner, which causes a problem because the safety can't get over there to help. Let's take a look at it. As Andy drops back, you'll see. All right, take a look at that. You'll see Ogbugu's outside corner, not that corner, number 6.
What in the world's McCullum doing there?
I don't know, but he misjudged it. And, again, look, the safety cannot get over there to help at all. Ogbugu is so quick, you know.
42-18, Coach. And you said, you know, you can't give him any time at all.
You give him 55 seconds. You can't do that.
There's still 5 seconds to go.
I used to give Boone County 5 seconds, and Sean Alexander would go 50 yards on me. You know, you can't do that.
They haven't done that lately, though.
No, they don't have Sean Alexander.
True.
Good man, by the way. Super person.
5.4 seconds. And Lexington Catholic leads 42-18. Garrett County's put some points up, but they've scored more points tonight in the first half than they did in their playoff game last week. Garrett County, when they scored 12, they won 12-6. Short kick taken at the 30. Nice up to the 36-yard line, and that'll do it for the first half. We'll head to the locker rooms, and we'll come back with Coach Mike Meehan and his UFOs on Heralded Football Overachievers. Halftime score here on the White Greer Maggard High School Football Game of the Week. Lexington Catholic 42, Garrett County 18. We'll return with halftime here, and Coach Meehan's UFOs and some stats here on the White Greer Maggard High School Football Game of the Week.
You know, the Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle, but excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Under Armour, get your feet straight.
It's Olive Garden's 20th anniversary of Never Ending Possible, so we're celebrating by offering you over 20 delicious choices starting at $9.99, like our new homemade chicken pomodoro sauce, creamy pesto Alfredo, and toppings like crispy chicken Frita. Plus, enjoy unlimited super salad and breadsticks. Hurry, it's all never ending, but only for a limited time. 20 years of Never Ending Possible, over 20 choices, starting at $9.99 at Olive Garden. We're all family here. Breadstick lovers, your new favorite lunch is here. New breadstick sandwiches.
Define the fabric of a team. It's not selfish. It's not boastful. It's about many, sewn together to reach one common goal. But in order to win, you must learn to work together.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all, the few, the proud.
Welcome back to Joseph K. Ford Stadium here at Lexington Catholic High School, where we're in the second round of the playoffs. Lexington Catholic leads the Golden Lions of Garrett County 42-18 on some mighty big plays. Gary Ball and I will have the stats for you here in a little bit, but first we're going to do our UFO. What that is, and I'll explain it so this gentleman can hear too. I started doing this years ago, and I realized that there are people at every football program who do a whole lot behind the scenes, but just don't get a lot of credit for what they do. And we've had everything from players we had a player who's so diabetic that had to check his sugar during the game. We had another player who was for Bowling Green, a manager who was hit by lightning and killed, brought back to life, and then through the years got things back enough where he could be the manager on the football team. We've had boosters, presidents, we've had film people, custodians, just people that the coaches. So I contacted Coach Mark Perry from Lexington Catholic, and he didn't hesitate at all. He said, my UFO, my unheralded football overachiever, is a gentleman named Chris Gallagher, who is the facilities director. Now let me tell you something. When William Warfield here with all this equipment tried to explain something that was working or not working, he said it was a different algorithm. To me, I couldn't figure out what that meant, and I certainly don't know what a facilities coordinator or facilities director does. So, a little bit. First of all, glad you're with us, and thanks for coming by and talking to us.
Well, Mike, I appreciate it. I was very honored when Coach Perry asked me, first of all, he said, you know Mike Meehan? And I said, well, I've heard him, and I've heard him on the radio, and he said, well, he'll be calling you. And I said, well, that'll be good. I'm sure he wants something set up for his radio telecast. Just on whatever he needs to know, that I'll take care of it. He said, okay. Well, and then, Mike, you called me, and it was a little bit different spin on this whole thing. So this was nice.
Coach Perry jumped all over that. First of all, give me a little bit about your background, Chris.
Well, Mike, I'm a born and raised Lexingtonian, so I've been here all my life. My dad was in residential real estate and construction, Gallagher Roberts Builders. And I've been here. I got 2 boys that are 14 twins. They're over across the street. They're going to be here next year, hopefully playing football with Coach Perry. I graduated from Lexington Catholic in 1977, played basketball with a gentleman you probably know, a legend, Danny Haney.
Oh, yeah.
And so Danny actually got me over here in 95. The place was kind of falling apart a little bit on him, and he said, Chris, are you interested in coming over and being part of Lexington Catholic full time? And it was just a kind of a marriage made in heaven. I was ready to do something different, and been here since 95 and I've loved every minute of it.
Well, we travel a lot. We go to a lot of different schools. And, you know, one of the things that Gary Ball and I have complained about a lot was in Fayette County public schools, they don't do the things, and I know it's selfish, but they don't do the things in the press box. We have no internet connections in a lot of the high schools. Now, some do, but most don't in Fayette County. And it makes it so much nicer doing this HD broadcast up here. So I guess what they need is a, quote, facilities director. Give me a little bit of information about what you do here.
Well, I try to dumb it down a little bit. I'll just say that I do everything non-academic.
See how he's going to dumb it down for me? It's like, no, okay. All right. I'm glad I pointed out the window.
That's right. Well, you know, I had to pay you back.
All right,
but, you know, it's just kind of behind the scenes. I always say we're conspicuous by our absence. As long as everything's going good, nobody's knowing you're doing your job. As soon as something goes bad, then they're always looking for you. But I've got everything from mechanicals of the school, you know, the athletics, the facilities. We were out here raking leaves and dragging the field today and getting everything ready for the big game tonight. And we always hope that we don't get called when the events are going on. But you know, it's tough, but I like it because I know what I'm doing and nobody really tells me what to do.
Well, that's good too. Now, are you employed during the day here?
I am. I get early in the morning. I've got a staff of maybe 4 or 5. We do subcontract out some of the custodial stuff, but yeah, I mean it's a lot of hours.
Give me an idea of what a day would be like, where you might have some things that you have to correct.
Well, you know, I usually get here. I have a gentleman and a couple of gentlemen get here at 7 a.m. So I get it rolling here about 9 o'clock in the morning, and you know, I'll check all the HVAC units on the computer, make sure everything's running, temperatures are reading right. We all wear radios, so always checking whether there's a locker jammed or a spill on you know, aisle 4 or you know. But you know, we're always looking at the weather forecast. I also run the plow truck when there's snow on the lot, and you know, we always say I make my list in pencil, because when you get there, you may just scratch out Tuesday and put Wednesday.
I think one of the things people don't realize about a major high school like this, when I was first, we began the program at Dunbar when I first started coaching, brand new school. You know, you had 3 principals, and people said, why you need 3? Well, one was the main principal, and he did a lot to deal with mostly with parents and the way things were going in the school. The other one was an academic principal, and she basically was dealing with the discipline and the academic. But there was a third principal, and that principal had to do with the school, because the school is a factory. I mean, it really is. There are boiler rooms and computer rooms and this and that and everything. And so I can understand where someone like you would be big time important to us.
Well, it evolves. I mean, it's you know, when now technology has gotten so big now, and you know, I used to do the phones and a little bit of computer wires and the Cat 5s and all that, but now, you know, we have our IT person, and now they kind of lay out the blueprints, and I'll help pull the wire or get it coordinated with, you know, contractors and stuff. But this has been a learning process, just as high def. I mean, it's been wonderful. I mean, this school has gone from, I started in 95, it's gone from 400 students to now it's 860. We're the biggest enrollment we've ever had, and we just do a lot of good things here, and it's been very exciting to do this telecast stuff.
Well, we're going to go for another minute maybe. So how's it go with working with the football team with Coach Perry?
Well, Coach Perry, I love Coach Perry. I mean, he has just, you know, he has gotten our youth program started, and it's just hitting all cylinders. Matter of fact, I'll be back at 7 a.m. in the morning because we're hosting the CKYFL Youth Football Championships.
I won't be here.
Well, I'll text you the scores.
Oh, that's all.
But you know, Mark always lets me know what he needs, and that's the main thing. You know, he's all about the kids, and I'm so excited. My 2 will be coming up, Sean and Ryan, next year, and they're going to be right underneath his tutorial, and it's big because he develops the whole player, not just their athletic skills.
Well, I've worked with Coach Perry a lot over the years in camps, you know, working with quarterbacks and so on, and he's one of my favorite people, because he does, not only does he care about the kids, but he cares about the details. He's like you.
Well, I appreciate that.
That's good. You're like a facilities coach. I'm going to start calling you the facilities coach.
Oh, that'll be all right. I've been called worse.
Well, let me tell you something. Chris, I really appreciate you stopping by and seeing us and giving the people out there a little bit of information about what you do.
Mike, it's been a pleasure.
Very important, and I'm very impressed.
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you, and we'll just keep doing what we're doing, and we'll see you here again.
Well, good to talk to you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, bye-bye. Well, let's. We got a few minutes here. Gary, do you want to go to a quick break? We're going to go to a quick break here at Joseph K. Ford Stadium. And again, the score 42-18, Lexington Catholic at halftime. We'll be back with some stats in just a few minutes.
We're back here at Joseph K. Ford Stadium. Gary Ball, Mike Meehan, William Moorfield. Looking at the first half stats, Garrett County actually has more first downs, 12-11, than Lexington Catholic. 245 yards passing for the Knights. But listen to this, yards rushing, 234 yards rushing for Garrett County, 93 for Lexington Catholic. Looking at some individual numbers, Devin Logan, 12 carries, 102 yards for Garrett County in the first half. Jacob Foley, 15 carries, 69 yards. Slade Crutchfield had 4 carries, 55, and 3 touchdowns rushing. He had all 3 scores for Garrett County. Josh Warren, 2 carries. Crutchfield was 0 for 2 passing for Garrett County. Looking at Lexington Catholic, Jalen Jones, 8 carries, 45 yards and in the first half. Andy Thompson, 6 carries, 41 yards. Donovan Morris had 1 carry, and Gerhard Stein had the touchdown. Of course, the fumble there for Catholic when it came out of the hands of Thompson. Thompson, listen to this, 8 for 8 passing, 245 yards. Of those 8 completions, 5 went for touchdowns for Andy Thompson. So what a first half by the senior quarterback for the Knights. 8 for 8, 245, 5 touchdown passes. A remarkable first half for Andy Thompson. 8 for 8, did not throw an incomplete pass. 245 yards, and I say again, of those 8 completions, 5 went for touchdowns for Andy Thompson. Donovan Morris had 3 catches for 131 yards, 2 scores. J.J. Agbugu had 3 catches, 80 yards, and 2 scores. Chris Thompson, 2 catches, 34 yards, and a score. And, we were talking a lot about tackling, and I asked the stat crew over there from WL for stats for the defensive stat. Listen to Sid Sharp. First half, Sid Sharp had 9 tackles in the first half, Coach Meehan.
Yeah, we called his name a lot, boy, I tell you what. We mentioned that.
So Sharp had 9 tackles. Jack Fagot had 4.5. Foster in a lot of plays with 4.5. Pedroshi had 4, and Andy Hickey 4. I tell you, those guys, Sharp, Fagot, Foster, Pedroshi, and Hickey, make a lot of defensive plays for Coach Mark Perry and Lexington Catholic. So those are the first half numbers, and they say numbers don't lie, but look at the domination by Garrett County on the ground, 234-93, but then the domination, Coach Meehan, by Catholic in the air, 245-0 for Garrett County. So that's a tale from the first half, and we're just seconds away here from the kickoff of the second half.
And as you remember, what I said early before the game started, we looked at some stats with 3A football. Garrard was 5th in rushing in 3A and 4th in defense against the rush. But Lexington Catholic was 2nd in 3A in passing, and that's the way it's turned out to look that way.
And, of course, we are at Joseph K. Ford Stadium, campus of Lexington Catholic. Gary Ball, Mike Mee, and William Warfield producing. And tonight we know that Louisville Central leads Boyle County. What was it, 21-6, William? 21-6 in that game. So it was Louisville Central on top.
Lafayette's ahead of Henry Clay, 21-7.
21-7 Lafayette. But, that's the same score Dunbar had them down last week before Dunbar saw Lafayette come back and win it in overtime.
Yeah, so. A heartbreaker in overtime. Central 20, Boyle County 7.
Yep.
Bowling Green 28, Christian County 7.
You follow that Bowling Green team a lot because you got a good friend that coaches down there.
Absolutely. Curtis Cotton, one of my favorite people in the whole world. Knows a lot about football and a lot about, life in general.
At 6A tonight, there were some absolutely outstanding football games. St. X and Trinity were playing tonight at Papa John's. I bet they had about 20,000 for that one. Mayo was playing DuPont Manual tonight. I did the first game between those two. There were 12,000 fans at that Mayo Manual game at DuPont Manual Stadium. And, up in Northern Kentucky, Riles playing Cooper tonight. I'm sorry, Riles playing Simon Kenton tonight.
Now Simon Kenton's loaded this year.
Yes, undefeated. So there's some great matchups.
Scott County's ahead of Bryan Station 21-12 at halftime.
21-12. And, we're hearing different things out of Scott County about Keith Guy. Some are saying he's coming back. Other folks are saying it's an ACL. But it'll be interesting to see if Keith Guy played tonight. If you see any of those highlights or updates from there, see if Keith Guy indeed is doing anything in that game. 42-18 here, Coach, and Garrett County will get the ball to start the second half.
That's where they want to be because they try to get back into it. Missing those 2-point conversions didn't help, but we'll see. They like to drive the football.
And when we gave those stats too, did you realize that Crutchfield had 3 rushing touchdowns? I know he had a couple, but they credited him with all 3 of them tonight for Garrett County.
No, I didn't know that. Lexington Christians ahead 14-7 at Shelby Valley. Boy, that's a trip.
Yeah,
that's from Lexington to Shelby Valley.
Trip. Here, Garrett County, they came from Lancaster. What, about a 45-minute trip over here from Lancaster, Coach? I guess something like that. Probably. Not quite an hour, but Garrett County and Lex Cath here tonight. The 3A Russell Athletic Commonwealth Gridiron Bowl playoffs here at the Joseph K. Ford Stadium. And we're just about set for the second half here tonight. Garrett County will receive the ball to start the second half. And the Knights, of course, quarterback Thompson was 8 for 8 in that first half, 245 yards and 5 touchdown passes in the first half.
That's a career first half. One last score for you, Trinity 13, St. X nothing at halftime.
So Trinity up on X, 13-0. So we are just about set for the second half. Lex Cath in the black with the blue numerals, and Garrett County in the USC Trojans uniforms with the maroon pants, maroon numbers, and those maroon helmets. Only thing missing is that SC on that maroon helmet for the Garrett County Golden Lions. Appreciate you watching tonight. This is the White Greer Maggard High School Football Game of the Week here at Lexington Catholic. And, of course, thanks to Bob Roberts Insurance as well. Bob Roberts over in Richmond, Kentucky. Bob Roberts Insurance, they insure half the great state of Kentucky. Thanks to Sutherland Chevrolet, the fine folks at Sutherland Chevrolet. See Don Gabbard and the folks down there for all your new car needs. Sutherland Chevrolet. We already had a Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week. I think we gave it to Garrett County on an opening drive, didn't we, Coach?
Yeah, they did. They went the whole length of the field, scored.
So here comes the kick by Lexington Catholic. Back deep are Redmond and also Logan back there for Garrett County. They stand at about the 10-yard line. We're set for second half action here tonight at Joseph K. Ford Stadium. So San Francisco Rehos does the kickoff chores for Coach Perry.
And those yellow shoes.
Of course, he already had the onside kick earlier in the game. This time he's going to kick it deep. It will drive Redmond back to about the 5. Redmond's going to come out to the 10. He's at the 15, and Redmond does a nice job of getting that out near the 20-yard line. That's a good job. He took that back in the corner, Coach, at about the 3 and returned it out near the 20-yard line.
Yes, he did, and Lexington Catholic tackle was number 31 for Lexington Catholic.
That's Fago.
Fago jumped in there and made the tackle.
Tackle by number 31, Jack Fago.
Fago makes a lot of tackles. He made several in the first half. But how about the young man we already referenced that we were so impressed with in that first half, making 9 stops? Of course, we're talking about Sid Sharp with 9 tackles in that first half.
Well, we're going to watch Sid Sharp. He seems to be really active tonight, into a lot of things.
Garrett County comes out up near the 20-yard line, and let's see what Slade Crutchfield, he's going out of that wishbone again. Slade Crutchfield, the quarterback. Now they shift a little bit, Crutchfield, and he is going to give it now to Logan, and he's not going to have much running room at all.
That was a nice job of Lexington Catholic collapsing down there and making the tackle. Number 11 again made the tackle, and that's Dylan Lewis.
Yeah, Middleton.
Littleton made the tackle that
He had
time.
2 tackles in the first half. They credit him with 2 tackles anyway. Probably had more than that. It's a big high school playoff games going on tonight. Coach Meehan already told you, in Louisville in front of about 20,000. Trinity leads St. X 13-0 halftime score. Here we're starting the second half with Lexington Catholic and Garrett County. It's not that Garrett County hasn't moved the ball, Coach. No. 245 yards rushing. This can't stop Catholic.
No, Catholic every time they get the ball.
Crutchfield fumbles it, but is able to somehow to jump back on it there. Looked like he was caught in betwixt and between of tossing the ball or cutting it back inside.
Yeah, he dropped the ball, but it fell right underneath him, and he fell on the ball. But, again, they're behind the chains, second and third and long.
Should be third and long,
Should be third and long, and that's not good for them. They don't like that. We haven't seen them punt yet, have we?
Yeah, they declined that false start, so they declined it. I'm not sure why the clock isn't running. To be honest, now they'll because of the penalty. Now they'll start the clock.
Yeah, this game's 42-18, but it's been an exciting game.
Yeah, Garrett County's impressed me. Their running game is solid, as you said, Coach, and their quarterback has impressed me. Slade Crutchfield, he's got 3 touchdowns. Crutchfield, back to pass. Getting pressure, Slade being chased, and he is going to be sacked all the way back at the 3-yard line, and goodness gracious.
Yeah, he's trying to, he had 2 receivers out on the pattern. Both the receivers are deep. Actually, number 6 on this side, Nick McCollum, had a little comeback going. He could have maybe got the ball to him, but Lexington Catholic was all over him.
I think Coulter's credited with that sack, and we're going to see a punt here. Coming from the problem here is if you're Slade Crutchfield, you only get sacked, you got to drop back there in the back of the end zone and punt it out of there.
Right, and they're not too worried about blocking the punt. They feel, honestly, Lexington Catholic knows that they can move the football.
Andy Thompson, high snap, but he's able to get it down and get the nice punt out of there. Thompson watches it bounce at the midfield, and it'll take a Garrett County roll down inside the 45, 43-yard line. That is an outstanding punt. That's about a 50-yard punt with no return.
I'll tell you what, they got lucky. A 53-yard punt. The ball was centered high. Lexington Catholic didn't have any kind of rush mounted, and he got the punt out. Excellent job. Now Lexington Catholic's got an opportunity now early in the third quarter to do something, Gary.
That's exactly right, Coach. And 53-yard punt is the final yardage on that for Slade Crutchfield. Thompson, he gives now to Jalen Jones, and he's up to the 48-yard line. Pickup of about 4.
He hits the line of scrimmage so quickly. It's just amazing.
Here's the situation, folks. Louisville Central's leading Boyle 20-6. If Central indeed wins that game and Catholic wins here tonight, they will have to travel to Louisville Central and play in Louisville next Friday night.
They will.
For the regional championship. Because Central won their district, so they would be the host in the regional final.
That would be a real good game.
Here, if Lafayette and whoever wins that game would play either Bryan Station or Scott County, that might be the game you and I cover next Friday, Coach. Pass out to the near side, caught, and that is going to be Agbugu, and he's going to take it down to the 42-yard line.
Yep, they get a first down, and that's what they want to do. They want to drive the football. Again, we'll take a real good look at Garrett County's defense this time to see if they've changed any look to try to prevent those long touchdown passes.
So Lafayette was winning last we heard 21-7, leading Henry Clay. There's Jones down to the 40, inside the 40, and hit hard there. Logan, it looked like, Barker there making the play as well. 8 minutes and 52 seconds here. Third quarter action. Lexington Catholic second down at the 40-yard line of Garrett County, going right to left.
They're stacked on Ogbugu over here. They're double covering Ogbugu.
Thompson, a delayed draw. He's got some room, 35. Andy to the 30, to the 29-yard line. Finally upended there. Come over to get him was Dominic Morrison. And Banks helped out as well.
They're walking the safeties out to cover those wide receivers again. They're kind of cheating a little bit, basically disguising their coverage, and it ends up in a double coverage sometimes. So what Lexington Catholic needs to do is get that slot back open. That slot could be open down the middle or on the corner route.
Andy Thompson was 8 for 8 in the first half, 5 touchdown passes. Here's Jalen Jones, cuts it back inside. He's at the 20, and Jones at the 15, the 10. Jones is going to dance, and him back, and finally is going to be knocked down short of the 10-yard line. So that is going to be a 19-yard pickup, Coach, and that was a fantastic run there by Jalen Jones.
I'm really impressed with the offensive line for Lexington Catholic, too. Lark Wiltshire was down. He made a block on the line of scrimmage, and then he was down the field making the block also. We'll watch big number 67, I think it is. Yeah, 67. So he gets his block on the line of scrimmage, and I'll watch him appear down here and make another block.
A penalty marker down so we can take all the see at that we want to.
Bam, there he is right there again.
What an effort by Jalen Jones. Of course, he was the district player of the year last year, Jalen, when he rushed for 1,600 yards last year for Lexington Catholic. As a junior, was the region player of the year. False start against the Knights. Well, this replay by William Warfield, this instant replay is awesome. And
it's great because you can really, people watching the game at home, they can study this and see exactly what's happening.
42-18 here.
Look at the big gap between the guard and the center.
Jalen Jones gets the ball, and he's down to the 10, with that penalty. Gets down about the 9-yard line.
Gary, you know that Coach Mark Perry, saw something with this defense that felt like he could spread them out with that wide guard center spacing there. You don't see that very often in high school football. Take a look at that. Look at the big space between the center and the right guard.
Second down at the 9-yard line. Here's Thompson rolling to the right. Thompson dancing. And he's just going to be shoved out of bounds, extending that sideline there. Good job by Foley. Jacob Foley.
Foley helped him up. I've seen some really good sportsmanship out of this Garrett County team.
Jacob Foley did a nice job of using that sideline as an asset, didn't he?
Yeah, that's that extra defender. You can't beat that guy. That's that 12th man you can't beat.
So 3rd down and 7 for the Knights. 7:38 here in the third quarter. Thompson looking, throwing, and just throws it away. It's a shame that your first incompletion has to be one you're just throwing away, isn't it, Coach?
Yeah, it is. They had a little screen set up out the outside to Morris, and Morris was covered. So that was smart. He just threw the ball away.
Here comes the field goal kicking team for Lexington Catholic. 7:34. And
you know, we've seen a lot of good plays out of Andy Thompson tonight, but that might have been the smartest one he's had. He could have forced that ball in there and had an interception that turned this game.
Connor Fry with the field goal here. They'll place it down at the 14. It'll be a 24-yard attempt out of the hold of Andy Thompson. Thompson gets it down. Connor Fry's kick is up, and it is good. 25-yard field goal by Fry, and it makes it 45-18. 45-18. So Lexington Catholic, 7:30 to go here in the third quarter, and they go up 45-18.
So you have on your not to give you a plug, but really I am interested. So you have academic people Saturday
on the Scholastic Ball Report.
Lexington Catholic.
Yes, scholar athletes from one's a 4.0, 3.93 from the girls soccer team. I know Miss Yeager, Miss Wilhite, and I believe Alana Hughes with the scholars. The team of the week is South Laurel. They came up from London. The basketball team, they're one of the favorites in the 13th region this year. And then we got a feature on all the playoffs from WYMT and the mountain football. And then, of course, we got our first panel swim shop swimmer of the week, and it's a young man, Landon Clark from Tates Creek, who's an academic All-American.
I'll tell you what.
All that on the show tomorrow.
That's fun to watch those kids because you get so many good athletes, but they're also really good academic.
That's tomorrow at noon on the CW, KYT check out this class. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate you always
That's all right.
bringing
No,
that
I'm
up.
interested in it.
I know you are. You DVR as much as I do, and I produce the show, so I appreciate it. Here's the kick. Bounces,
Lord.
and it'll be picked up by the and he's got a little spurt up near the 30-yard line.
Yeah, they're getting good field position on their kickoff returns.
It's the first time we've seen McCollum back there.
Well, are we ready to see another long drive? Are they going to come out in the wishbone? Or are they going to come out in the one-back set? Use the motion to try to draw Lexington Catholic out of the area a little bit? Again, that quarterback, excellent runner, is looking, and the coaching staff up top probably are looking to see if Lexington Catholic pinches the edges down, let the quarterback keep the ball.
So let's see what Slade Crutchfield has for us. Crutchfield gives it right side up to the 32-yard line. Ball carrier, I believe that was Logan. No, it's Foley. Excuse me, Foley, Jacob Foley.
Mm-hmm. Again, well, as we're watching this game on this wonderful PrepSpin HD picture here, we're going to look at that edge player, and we're going to try to figure out if he is coming down hard to help on these tackles. If he is, then we'll look for the quarterback keep. Let's
tell
take
you
a
what,
look.
that picture could not be any sharper, could it?
It is sharp.
2nd down and 7. Crutchfield gives to Foley, and Foley up to the 35. Would it be 3rd down and about 5 for Garrett County. 6 minutes and 39 seconds here in the 3rd quarter, and Lexington Catholic leads Garrett County 45-18.
Yeah, number 31 for Lexington Catholic.
That's Fago.
Is Jack Fago. He's playing the edge player on this side, and I noticed that time that he came in and stayed pretty wide that time. So he's been coached up at halftime about looking for that.
The spotter actually credited tackle to Will Roden, so let's give Mr. Roden some credit as well. So 3rd down and a long 5 for the Golden Lions, and here's Crutchfield. Pressure from the left side. Crutchfield can't get out of it, and he's going to be sacked back at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, that was like the outside linebacker came in.
So that'll force another punt here. Coach, we saw one punt in the entire first half. We're seeing our 2nd punt here in the first 2 possessions in the second half, Coach, for Garrett County.
Zach Minion made that play. He came in from the outside linebacker. I think it was outside linebacker look. Came in and made the tackle. Nice job.
So Garrett County will be punting. Looks like Hickey's back deep this time to return the Slade Crutchfield punt with 5:27 to play, 3rd quarter. Lexington Catholic all over Garrett right now, 45-18. Remember, the mercy rule is, 35-plus points? Is that right, Coach?
Over 35, yes.
Good end-over-end punt. And Hickey will call a fair catch back at the 35-yard line. So that's where the Knights will have it, and their offense has been stellar tonight. 45 points already up on the board, Coach Meehan, and we still have 5:13 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, they stalled out on that last drive. That's the first time they stalled out and kicked a field goal. And you can't, that's good. You keep those. When Garrett County kept missing the 2-point conversions, Lexington Catholic gets the field goals. That keeps them ahead for sure.
Again, we want to thank Brad Carter, the athletic director here at the Lexington Catholic. Here's a handoff to Jalen Jones. Upended and tripped up by one of the big D linemen. And number 60 tripped him up.
Yeah, big number 60.
That's big number, Davian Long. When we say big, Coach, 6'4", 340.
Yeah, and he was quick on that. Reached his hand out and brought him down.
2nd down and 8. And we believe Thompson has tied a record tonight with those 5 first-half touchdown passes.
He has. And we've got another runner. Who's the running back in there now for Lexington Catholic?
Not sure, Coach. It's somebody. Might be Balsarac.
It could be.
Balsarac, yeah, he's the backup. So Brett Balsarac.
Giving Jalen Jones, giving JJ, you call him, giving him a little break.
Yeah, we got to call him something. Got to give him a nickname. When you're as good as Jones, just call him JJ. Yeah. 2nd down, and join us next Friday night for a regional championship. Lafayette was playing Henry Clay tonight. Bryan Station was playing Scott County. So I guess the winners of those games hook up next Friday. Is that correct?
That's exactly right.
So
and probably at Scott County, wouldn't you think?
Oh, okay.
If they win.
Catholic wins this and Central wins. Catholic will have to go to Louisville Central. If Boyle County would come back, pull that one out, it would be Boyle County here at Catholic. Of course, Catholic up 45-18 still here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down. And Andy Thompson. Jones back to Thompson. Back penalty. Look, fires down the middle. He's got a wide open receiver. Fingertips catch, and it's going to be another touchdown. My goodness, Donovan Morris.
Is that Morris again?
Donovan Morris.
He's having a heck of a game. How many yards did he have in the first half?
Donovan Morris had 131 catches or yards on 3 catches, 2 touchdowns. So that's his 3rd touchdown catch tonight for Donovan Morris, and he caught that one right off the fingertips.
Yeah, we're going to look at it on the instant replay. PrepSpin.com night vision here. Check this out.
Yeah, I'll tell you about the extra point.
Throw. Look at his catch. Fingertip. Oh, nice job.
Man.
Fingertip catch. That was a good one. How many yards was that pass?
So here's the extra point here, and it is up, and it is good by Fry. So 52-18 Catholic with 4:42 to go in the 3rd quarter here. Lexington Catholic will return here on the White Greer Maggard High School football game of the week.
Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's Restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you.
Gary Ball, Mike Meehan, William Warfield back here at Joseph K. Ford Stadium with Donovan Morris just caught his 3rd touchdown catch tonight, and we saw the replay, and that was literally he got the end of the football there on his fingertips, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. It was an excellent throw and an excellent catch.
Kick taken, Redmond 10. Redmond hit and dropped immediately at the 15-yard line. So let's see what Garrett County can do here. Redmond with the return.
Lexington Catholic has slowed the Garrett County rushing attack down in the second half. It stopped them twice.
Made good adjustments in the locker room, didn't they, Coach?
They have made really good adjustments in stopping that vaunted running attack, especially with Foley carrying the ball.
Thanks to Sutherland Chevrolet down in Nicholasville. Sutherland Chevrolet. Don Gabbard, see the folks at Sutherland Chevrolet, and also Bob Roberts Insurance. That's John, Joe, and Bob Roberts over in Richmond. They're on Main Street over in Richmond. Bob Roberts Insurance, they insure half the great state of Kentucky. 4:38, Coach, to go in the 3rd. It's all Catholic, 52-18 over Garrett. Right side and handoff up to about the 18-yard line.
Yeah, not much there. Garrett, whatever happened to good old days when we go out to Rafferty's and have that big old prime rib sandwich after games? We don't do that anymore.
Well, it's because they're closed by the time we get off the air. What are you talking about? They close at 10:30, I think. But you're right. No, we got to do that. Got to get some. So Thompson with 6 touchdowns. I think that tied Justin Burke, didn't it? That 6 touchdown passes.
I don't think that they'll let him throw another one with this lead.
They're up by 52-18. Slade Crutchfield, and he is going to be dropped.
I bet that was for go.
Might have been Sid Sharp.
Yeah, Sharp.
.339 to go in the 3rd, and Lexington Catholic and Garrett County. It was Sharp who made that play. So we know he's in double digits now because he had 9 at halftime.
Yeah, at least 10 tackles so far by the big man. Congratulations, Sid Sharp. Super game. Nice time to play a really good defensive game, too, is in the second round of the playoffs. Look at the big old offensive linemen they have.
They are huge, Garrett County is, along the offensive line. They average 300 pounds. Slade Crutchfield, and diving up to the 20-yard line. Pickup of about 3. That was Devin Logan. Brings up 4th down. So Garrett, for the 3rd time, will have to punt the ball away, Coach.
Yeah, I'm really surprised, too, that they've changed the way they're attacking this Lexington County defense. They probably need to go back to that one-back look that they did so well in the first half, in the first part of the quarter, 3rd quarter. So It's 52-18 here, and again, they've got a punt. Now, we had that one problem with that one high snap on a punt, so we'll see.
2:28 to go in the third. 52-18. Slade Crutchfield set the punt again for the third time here in the quarter.
Nice punt.
And he's a good punter, and it drives Hickey back, takes a great Garrett roll back inside to the 23-yard line.
Please catch the ball. Please. I've been saying this for years. Fair catch the football. You're good athletes. Catch the ball. Don't let it
That's
roll.
another 50-plus yard punt there for Crutchfield on the roll. So I'm going to see the final. I think it was about 57 yards in my math, but we'll see what they say here. Of course, Legend Brumball is in at quarterback now, Coach. Of course, he started out as the starting quarterback and then broke his collarbone early on in the game that you and I did, remember?
Right, we did, and he was hot, too.
Yeah.
He was doing well.
2 minutes, 12 seconds, so Legend Brumball in at quarterback. And Brett Balserac, the senior back, is in there at running back. Brumball at the 22-yard line. Gives the Balserac. He runs hard, 25, and he's up to the 27, 28-yard line. Good job.
Yeah, he's one of their hardest runners, I think. He does a nice job.
Gain of 7 by Balserac brings up a 2nd and 3 for the Knights.
Short, 2nd and 3, that's where they want to be. This is a good situation for them.
Couple new receivers in there too, Coach. I see Ben Buchanany in there, number 9. He's in there at receiver. So Legend Brumball at a quarterback. Brett Balserac, who just carried for 7 there at running back. Twins to both sides for Legend Brumball here late in the third quarter. And the Knights up 52-18. Gives the ball straight. And he's hit and dropped immediately by the big lineman there, number 65. And that's Colton Barker, 6'3", 290, Coach.
He came in there hard, too. Nice tackle. Locked him up.
Barker, 6'3", 290. They got some big dudes at Garrett County.
They do.
The corn-fed, aren't they? Or something in the water over there.
This is an interesting down and distance for Lexington Catholic. They've got Legend Brumball in, who's known as a very good passer. And this is sort of a passing situation here. So we'll see if they're going to let him throw.
Well, they're up 34, so if they score anything at all, we would have the running clock. But let's see, we still have 42 seconds. 3rd down and 5 for Legend Brumball. He's running out of time here on this play.
No, they just blew the whistle. They just started the clock for some reason.
Okay, gotcha. Well, that was late.
Yeah, he did. He started it very, very late.
So Brumball, 3rd down, Twins both sides, and gives to Balserac, and he bounces it outside. Cuts back up, and he's up to the 32, and he's close to the first down marker. Good run there by Balserac.
Very close.
Comes a late flag. Late flag.
I tell you what, that better not be on a Lexington Catholic player. Coach Perry will go off. He cannot stand penalties, worthless penalties, especially personal foul penalties and unsportsmanlike penalties. Yeah, it's unsportsmanlike against Garrett County, Gary. That's not good. Yeah, a little frustration. Tough situation. 19 seconds to go in the third.
15 yards will take it all the way to the 48-yard line, so the Knights will have it there.
They're going to let it run out.
Yeah, they'll let the clock run out for the fourth quarter. When we come back, Lexington Catholic has a commanding lead. Looks like they're going to head to the regional finals next Friday night at either Louisville Central or at home here against Boyle County. We'll try to give you an update on that one. Here on the White Greer Maggard High School football game of the week at Joseph K. Ford Stadium. We'll return Lexington Catholic 52, Garrett County 18. We'll be back after this.
Define the fabric of a team. It's not selfish. It's not boastful. It's about many, sewn together to reach one common goal. But in order to win, you must learn to work together.
Back here, Coach, as we have the third. You'll look at those third quarter stats. Of course, Thompson 10 of 11, 6 touchdown passes.
That's just absolutely incredible.
Legend Brumball, and gives now off the left side, and very little gain there as we start the fourth quarter. That's Brett Balserac again, the ball carrier. Starting the fourth quarter, and Coach, you're taking a look at those third quarter stats.
Yeah, if we're looking at Garrett County, Devin Logan has 109 yards right now.
He had that at half, though.
He had that at halftime. He just hasn't gained anything. Jacob Foley, 74 yards.
So he had 5 yards in that quarter.
Whereas on the other side, Jalen Jones now is 80 yards rushing for Lexington Catholic. He's out now. Andy Thompson, 8 carries for 53 yards.
Catholic's just going to run that clock as much as they can. 11:18 to go in this game. They're up 52-18. If they get a field goal, you'd have, of course, a continuous running clock, the mercy rule.
And they're giving Brumbaugh a little chance, to get himself loose and get back into the swing of things.
Well, he threw a couple touchdown passes. Here's Balserac, and he is hit and knocked backwards. He's going to lose some yardage.
Yeah, there was a little bobble of the ball. Brumbaugh bobbled the football when he finally got it to Balserac. It was too late. The defense had come in there pretty hard.
Foley made another play, yet another tackle for the – Foley, as good a running back as he is, Coach, he's pretty darn good. Remember, Garrett's got a lot of these kids back. They do lose Crutchfield, the quarterback, but they got both Foley and Devin Logan back at running back.
They're going to be a good football team again next year. Gary, I just got a message, 21-21 Lafayette. Henry Clay, third quarter.
21-21, Lafayette Henry Clay, third quarter. So they're tied. 10 minutes and 16 seconds to go in this game. And Legend Brumball, third down and long for the Knights, might be faced with a passing opportunity here. He has not thrown it yet tonight.
Give him an opportunity, loosen that arm up.
Fakes, gives it now to Balserac. He's to the 44. Knocked backwards. It'll be fourth down. So Lexington Catholic will be punting for an unusual thing we've seen tonight. They haven't punted much tonight, Coach.
No, they haven't. And I'm a little bit I'm interested whether Coach Perry maybe just doesn't.
It's like they just wanted to run some clock.
Or just run some clock. But again, that was a perfect passing situation. Now, Legend Brumball is coming back from a collarbone, correct, on his left side?
Yes. Jacob Foley back deep to receive this punt from Middleton. 9:25 to play, and it's all Lex-Cath.
I tell you
Knights 52-18, Coach.
If I'm punting the Foley, I'm not real happy about tackling that son of a gun. I tell you
He
that.
is a bowling ball, isn't he,
Man.
Coach? 185 pound, like you said, of muscle.
Yeah, Coach Perry's just slowing this game down.
Yeah, he's up 34 points, Coach. He's not going to rub it in anybody's face. He's a class guy, you know. And, it's not the Owen Houck School of Scoring. Here's the end over end.
You bring back memories.
And Foley watches it bounce it to 20, and that's where Catholic would touch it down. Garrett County with 8:50 to go. Coach Houck, sometimes I think sometimes he forgot what the score was. I really do.
He was so occupied with what's going on in the game, he probably didn't even look at the scoreboard. Yeah, right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I believe that. Devin Logan.
I got some swampland down in Texas.
Yeah. Taking a look at these, we talked about the tackles. I can't find the tackles on this thing.
That's not the stat. That's just offense. You have to get a separate stat sheet. It's a separate sheet. We'll get that after the game.
It's hard to keep up with these stats.
It sure is, Coach.
All right.
First down at the 20 for the Golden Lions, and they've had 3 series and done nothing this half. Here's a handoff to Redmond. Redmond's got some room, and he takes it 30, and he's up close to the 30-yard line. Pickup of 9 for Mike Redmond, the senior.
We have some new faces in there on defense for Lexington Catholic, I believe. Some new numbers.
Yeah, it looks like their JV team might be in there right now.
Yeah, Evan Terhune came up and helped on that tackle.
Yeah, you got second down and a yard for the Garrett County Golden Lions out of Lancaster, Kentucky. They played Catholic tough at a meeting about a month ago, 26-16, but it's been all Catholic tonight.
Well, the Golden Lions have had a good year.
Yeah, they have seven wins coming in. That handoff goes Logan, and Logan picks up the first down to the 37, so he got about 7 yards on that carry. Terhune, I think, is who they credited with that stop, Coach.
Right, he's coming in there. He's had 2 plays in a row now.
Wow.
Let's see. He's get these young guys in there to do some damage.
First down for the Golden Lions. Nice run up the middle by the running back Foley, Jacob Foley, and there comes a late flag in. That'd
be interesting because that was thrown late.
Came in the vicinity of the line, so
Jackson Boggs came in for that tackle.
Indication of personal foul against Lexington Catholic.
I don't know where that was, but it wasn't the tackler. Jackson Boggs is a freshman in there. I believe I got his number 41, 5'8", 145. Hey, 5'8", 145-pound freshman has to tackle Foley. Man.
I believe the last Scott County, I think they just gave 28-18, Scott County 28-18 in the fourth against Station. Foley knocked backwards.
Wow.
Catholic thought the ball was loose, and they had it, Coach. What'd you think?
Well, you know what? It looked like the ball was loose, but I don't know what they called forward
I
progress.
think they did say that he was stopped by forward progress.
Forward progress was stopped on that.
Yeah, that was what they called, Coach. 7 minutes to go in this one, and Garrett County hung tough for a while, Coach, but Lexington Catholic's passing attack tonight with Andy Thompson has been just lights out.
Well, they put Garrett County behind the chains and behind the score, and they just don't have a passing attack. They could not score quickly to help catch up.
Slade Crutchfield has been outstanding, 3 rushing touchdowns. He gives now to Logan. He's running hard. Logan's got the first down to the 25-yard line. So that'll move the chains for Garrett County with 6:35 to play. Logan running hard, and Zach Haynes, I think, made the stop.
Yeah, Zach Haynes is in on that tackle. And these young guys are coming in there. Hayden is 5'11". He's a senior, though. So, but he's in there making some tackles.
Zach Hayden, excuse me. Jacob Foley, and Foley all the way down to the 12-yard line.
These defensive backs are making all these tackles now because Foley is breaking through the line of scrimmage, and I'm telling you what, you got to come up and tackle that kid, and that is not easy.
You're exactly right.
Deccan Catholic has slowed this game down now with 6 minutes to go in the football game and a commanding lead.
Logan, and he's got maybe a yard off the right side.
It's good defense that time. Look at those guys in there making those things.
They're flying around, Coach. They want to make some plays. You know, they're in the playoff game. You know.
Who's the guy with the sleeves, with the white sleeves for Lexington Catholic? I can't see his number, but he's all over the place.
Tyler Couch and Sam Vaughn on the previous stop of the night.
Thanks. What's it, 94?
Was it Couch or Bond? That's who they announced.
I'm going to look for his number.
Crutchfield. He's rolling, throws, and it is going to be, let's see what they called here. Foley, I think, made a diving catch. Yeah, Foley.
Nice catch on the side there.
Yeah, Foley with a nice job catching that ball. Approaching the 5-minute mark to go in this game, and Lexington Catholic's going to move on to the regional finals next week. If Central holds on and beats Boyle tonight, it'll be in Louisville at Louisville Central. If Boyle comes back in that one, it would be here at home against Boyle. But Louisville Central in command of that one, it seems. Here's the Logan, and he gets down low. And Logan, let's see. Yeah, he broke the plane. Touchdown, Logan makes it 52-24 with 4:45 to play.
You know what's bad about that score? They got to kick off the Lexington Catholic.
That's true. That's true. With that offense.
Woo.
Man.
Let me tell you what. But again, Lexington Catholic has kind of put the brakes on their offense here in the fourth.
Oh, there's no doubt that they just didn't want to run the score up. But, Legend Birnball, who's a passing quarterback, didn't even throw the ball one time, Coach.
That's true, yeah.
So they're going for 2.
Bam.
And does he get in finally? Yes, he does. So Logan gets in with a 2-point conversion. They tried it 3 other times and couldn't get it in, but they get this one in Well, with 4:45 to go, it is Lexington Catholic 52, Garrett County 26 here at the Russell Athletic Commonwealth Gridiron Bowl 3A playoffs. We'll return on the White Greer Maggard High School football game of the week.
It's Olive Garden's 20th anniversary of Never Ending Possible, so we're celebrating by offering you over 20 delicious choices starting at $9.99, like our new homemade chicken pomodoro sauce, creamy pesto Alfredo, and toppings like crispy chicken Frita. Plus, enjoy unlimited super salad and breadsticks. Hurry, it's all never ending, but only for a limited time. 20 years of Never Ending Possible, over 20 choices, starting at $9.99 at Olive Garden. We're all family here. Breadstick lovers, your new favorite lunch is here. New breadstick sandwiches.
Gary Ball, Coach Mike Me, and William Warfield back here on PrepSpin, the White Greer Maggard High School football game of the week. Tonight we're at Lexington Catholic, where tonight, Coach, it's been all Lexington Catholic in their offense. They lead 52-26, 4:45 to play here at Joseph K. Ford Stadium, Coach.
It is, and then Lexington Catholic has had their quarterback who's back from an injury. Legend Brumbaugh has been in the last couple of series, but just handing the ball off. So it'll be interesting to follow this and see how if they give him an opportunity to throw the ball a little bit.
McCollum with a short kick, taken up near the 40, and knocked backwards there on the stop Foley, and then we're going to have a flag down.
Well, he knocked his helmet square off his head.
And the ball came out of there late too. McCollum got it, but they're going to throw a flag, and I think that's going to be called on Garrett County.
Who is that? Who's the player that got his helmet knocked off the runner? Whoa.
Indication the personal foul against Garrett County.
Personal foul. So that'll be a 15-yard penalty. We've had a couple of those here in the second half.
No, I don't think he meant it for the helmet to pop off his head. He must have just hit him high, but that looked like it looked like number 32, King, AJ King, ninth grader, got his helmet tore off his head. We got a little timeout.
Oh, we spotted on the Garrett County 46. First and 10, Lexington Catholic. Timeout.
4:39, we got a timeout on the field, and we'll step out here on PrepSpin 52-26. Lexington Catholic leads Garrett County.
All right, we're back. Welcome back. Lexington Catholic's got the football here, and again, with a commanding 52-26 lead. We're going to interesting to see if they try to throw the football a little bit on this drive.
Legend Brumbaugh, he didn't throw one pass the last series, and they punted. And let's see what they do here. 4:25 to play. Clock running here. The football in Garrett County territory at the 46-yard line. Brumbaugh with twins both sides. And looks like King the ball carrier, and he dances to the 43-yard line. Knocked down there, pick up about 4.
That was a nice run.
Balsarac, excuse me.
Balsarac, a nice run. He's a hard runner. It's not like they lose, completely lose a running game when he put him in there. He's an excellent runner.
And now they bring in 29. I believe that is King, isn't it, Coach, for Lexington Catholic?
4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6 at the Garrett County 42.
Balsarac ran it, picked up 4. Clock running, 3:43 to play. So Jones in there now, excuse me. They're going deep into the squad tonight. I don't even have them on my depth charts while I was in my rosters. Only missing some numbers for some reason.
Well,
so
we've got it over here.
Okay.
So we're going to look at these young guys and make sure they get the credit that's they're due.
They're just going to let the clock run, of course. 2nd down. Here's the handoff, and that's to the 40.
Nice job.
Nice and you
run.
said that was Damian Jones.
Damian Jones.
I wonder if he's related to Jalen.
I don't know. That's a good point. He's 5'7", 140-pound 10th grader.
So the JV team in there now for Catholic. We saw JV's guys on their defense. Now we're seeing a lot of them on the offense here. 3rd down and 3, clock running, 2 minutes and 52 seconds to go in the football game. And Lexington Catholic's going to move on. Looks like they're going to play Central. What was it, 27-14 Central last we heard?
Yeah, that's what
start of the 4th quarter.
They'll have to go down to Louisville.
They'll have to go to Louisville. Yeah, to Louisville Central, as they both won their district. But it's that district's year to host, I guess, the regional
who's
final.
Running back in there.
Is that still Jones? That's Balsarac, isn't it? Yeah, Balsarac left side running hard and to the 30 and all the way down to the 20 and finally run him out at the Balsarac, down inside the 20-yard line.
Coach Perry says, don't go out of bounds. Just don't go out of bounds. Please. Nice run, but stay in bounds.
However, Balsarac picks up 20.
Balsarac got 20 on that and picked up the first down. And the clock running now with 2 minutes and 14 seconds to play, Coach. And Lexington Catholic looked impressive tonight. They're going to be, if they play Central next Friday, it looks like that's who they're going to play. That'll be a really good game.
Their passing game was incredible. I mean, we're going to have to pick a player of the game. And it's hard to tell.
Well, it's got to be Andy Thompson. 6 touchdown passes.
Yeah, I mean, who caught those?
Yeah. Give up to the 10, and they're going to run it to the house. Touchdown. Damian Jones. Jones with the touchdown. 18-yard touchdown run.
Damian Jones excited to get his chance to really show himself. Nice job.
Andy Thompson says, hey, I better go ahead and get my helmet here real quick, get back in there to hold. Andy Thompson comes hustling in there to hold
ready.
for the
he wasn't ready, was he?
99, Connor Fry.
Connor Fry with the extra point.
I don't think they have enough people on the field. Yep, they're missing a big man. Look, they were missing a big old.
Scored too fast, didn't they? Scored in a hurry.
Big man. He was over there.
Everybody forgot to get on the field.
Yeah, he might have been eating a hamburger back there at concession stand. By the way, those were good hamburgers.
Yes, I appreciate them bringing those up here, and the kick is up. It's good. So, wow, 59-26. Coach, who would have thought this? I mean, if anything, you know, you're not surprised that Lexington Catholic's winning. You're surprised at the margin, though, 59-26.
Well, I'm surprised at 59 points because when you play against a team that slows the game down,
yeah,
like
exactly,
they do and run the ball every play over and over, then you think maybe that it won't get to be that high of a score. So
exactly right. Minute 48 to go here in this contest, and afterwards we'll try to grab Coach Perry up here, and we'll also try to get if we got time, try to get a star of the game. And William, yeah.
Louisville Central 27, Oil County 14.
So Louisville Central won 27-14. That means Catholic will have to travel to Central next Friday night. That's a tough place to play, Coach.
Yeah, I kind of picked that. I just don't think.
You did.
I don't think Boyle has the speed to keep up with Central, to tell you the truth.
So Lexington Catholic and Louisville Central will play next Friday in Louisville. And just check the Herald Leader. Of course, the Herald Leader always lists the game that we have in there next Friday. And looks like if it's going to be Scott County. But Lafayette and Henry Clay were locked up in a duel, right? 21 all?
21 the last time we heard. So it's so funny. The Lexington Catholic kicking team lined up facing the wrong direction. And they had to straighten it out. Minute and 48 seconds.
So Louisville Central knocks Boyle County out of the playoffs. Their season's over. Here's the kick from Lex Cath, taken in by up to the 20-yard line, up to the 30, and returned up to the 30-yard line.
Green on the return.
Green on the return there for Garrett. So what will Garrett do here, Coach? They're down 59-26. Will they obviously it's Garrett County. They're going to keep it on the ground.
They're going to keep it on the ground. I don't think they're going to do anything particular. They'll be just glad to get out of here and head back to
Lancaster. Yep.
Kentucky.
And join us next Friday for regional championship action here on PrepSpin. I know our King of Stream will be in Las Vegas, but we'll have Aaron Rose producing for us next week.
Tiny Rose is going to be with us.
Tiny. Minute 30 to go here in this one. That's all that remains. And you got the looks like a backup quarterback in there for Garrett County as well.
Quick little running back, though. The 22. Nice job.
That was Morrison, the ball carrier. And let's see, Coach, so Dominic Morris, the ball carrier, and see who we have in quarterback.
Foley's still in there.
Clock running 58 seconds. Don't have to run. Foley going out. Coming in for him is Connor Isaacs. They'll have to run at least one more play.
Yeah, I believe this will be the last play, and then Lexington Catholic will go on.
Yeah, Connor Isaacs is a sophomore quarterback is in there. Down to 39 seconds, and Isaacs will give now to Dominic Morrison. Dominic Morrison, 28 seconds.
And they're stopping the clock here. First down, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Lexington Catholic will
that's a ball game.
Take their 9-3 record into Louisville Central next Friday.
Have had a good year. Some ups and downs, a little injury problem early in the year, but they've seemed to overcome that and have had a really good season.
I don't know if Connor Isaacs will even. Yeah, it looks like he's going to get the snap off. 6 seconds. Gives it now to off the right side to Dominic Morrison, and he's knocked backwards, and that's it. Lexington Catholic will head to Louisville next Friday night for the regional finals. Lexington Catholic 59-26 over Garrett County here tonight, and Andy Thompson coached me in through for 6 touchdown passes tonight, and what a game by Donovan Morrison, what a game by J.J. Agbugu receiving.
Morris is the one that got me. Some tremendous jobs. Great catches, deep passes. Was really in the game. We saw some wonderful defensive play too by different Knights players, and just a really good outcome for them.
So Lexington Catholic will travel to Louisville Central next Friday for the Russell Athletic Commonwealth Gridiron Bowl 3A Regional Championship at Louisville Central. We'll come back with a post-game, wrap things up here from Joseph K. Ford Stadium with the victory for Lexington Catholic 59-26 over Garrett County.
Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's Restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you.
Gary Ball with Mike Meehan back here at Joseph K. Ford Stadium, where tonight Lexington Catholic advances to the regional final next Friday to travel to Louisville, take on the Central Yellow Jackets next Friday night as they knock off Garrett County 59-26. Garrett County season comes to an end with a 7-5 record. Looking at some final numbers, Coach Meehan. Devin Logan, 131 yards rushing tonight and a touchdown for Garrett County. Foley, also a 100-yard rusher tonight on 20 carries. Slade Crutchfield with 55 yards, had 3 touchdowns rushing tonight, the quarterback for Garrett County. Fell a little bit short. He was 1 of 3 passing. Looking at some other numbers in this game, Jalen Jones, 13 carries, 80 yards for Lexington Catholic. Andy Thompson, 8 carries, 53 yards. Brett Balserac, 8 carries, 37. Damian Jones came in late, had the 18-yard TD run, though, so good for him. Andy Thompson, listen to this number, 10 of 11 passing, 317 yards, 6 touchdown passes, which ties Justin Burke for a record here at Lexington Catholic.
That's a career day. I mean, amazing. Just a wonderful day passing the football. What were the total passing yards for Lexington Catholic?
317.
317 yards.
Listen to these numbers for Donovan Morris. 4 catches, 193 yards on those 4 catches, 3 touchdowns for Donovan Morris.
And they were beautiful passes and wonderful catches. 1 fingertip catch.
And J.J. Ogbugu, 4 catches, 90 yards, and 2 scores for Mr. Ogbugu. Listen to Chris Thompson, 2 catches, 34, and a touchdown catch for Chris Thompson tonight.
Everybody got involved.
They all got in on the action. So those are the numbers from the game, with the big numbers out on that board. Lexington Catholic 59-26. And, Coach, Louisville Central, that'll be a tough opponent. That's a team that has a lot of success in winning state championships. They're coached by Tyrone Scroggins, and he does a great job. And that'll be a good ball game between Lexington Catholic and Louisville Central next Friday.
One of the people that I talk to, one of the things they say is that Central, and with Scroggins is coaching, they come through at the playoffs.
Yes.
They kind of build up, and then when the playoffs is when they play their best ball. But as what we're seeing right here, it looks like Lexington Catholic's playing their best ball too.
Yeah, Lexington Catholic really gelling at the right time here tonight, as you see everybody breaking up out there, and you hear The Boys of Fall. That's one of my favorite songs by Kenny Chesney, The Boys of Fall. And thank you very much, WL Stats, for there's the final numbers, 20-19 on first downs, Coach. As we said, we gave the individual numbers, and looking at yards rushing, Garrett County got nearly 300 yards rushing. That's what they do best.
That's pretty amazing. Actually, we got a heck of a game. Bryan Station is down 28-24 at Scott County, 28-24 with a few minutes left in the game.
Who has the ball?
Well, I don't have that, but I have this too. This is a good one. Just getting this text from my friend Donnie Young over at Henry Clay or Lafayette. 28-27 Henry Clay with 5 minutes left.
It looks like Lexington Christian's going to get a win, 28-14, leading Shelby Valley late in the game there. So would they be at home next week, Lexington Christian? So Lexington Christian maybe that's our game of the week next week. Who would they play?
Maybe play Danville again. Yeah.
Wow, but Danville beat up on them pretty good the first time, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Actually, we did that game, Darren and I, and Danville was.
That's right, because Danville, are they in the same district? Yeah, they would be at Danville, yeah. So.
Well, Henry Clay, it's 28-27, Henry Clay over Lafayette with 5 minutes left.
You said that was going to be a barn burner over there.
I knew it would be. Henry Clay's playing really good football right now, and Lafayette probably has the best talent, so it'd be interesting.
So Lexington Catholic wins this one. William, do we want to take another break, come back, and then wrap things up here tonight? 59-26, Lexington Catholic wins it tonight over Garrett County. We'll come back and wrap things up here on the White Greer Maggard High School Football Game of the Week.
The Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle, but excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Under Armour, get your feet straight.
Choosing a college is about setting a course, a path that leads to your destination. At EKU, the adventure is what lies in between. Eastern Kentucky University. Great journeys begin here.
I know you young people said to yourselves, I am going to live a purposeful life.
And I say to you, during your 4 years of college is a time to enlarge your souls. And the way to enlarge your lives is to so broadcast your life into the lives of others that it will return to you 100-fold.
And Constant Progress are helping today's students and faculty unleash their potential, discover new answers, open more doors. There's something special in the air at the University of Louisville. Give back to others. See new worlds. And become champions in everything they do. Now, more than ever, it's a great time to be a Louisville Cardinal.
Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens you can eat at Rafferty's are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. New games. The open prime rib sandwich is
back here where it's 59-26 as Lexington Catholic knocks off a Garrett County team that I thought played very well in the first half but just couldn't stop the offense from Lexington Catholic. They finished with 59 points. Garrett County's got some good running backs coming back next year. Bethlehem beat Crittenden County 48-21 tonight. Louisville Holy Cross beat Kentucky Country Day 34-28. That was a good one. Paintsville beat Raceland in a close one 20-15. Pikeville all over Williamsburg like a cheap Persian rug 56-14. And then you've got Danville over Leslie County 55-14. Newport Catholic beat Holy Cross 46-15. These are all finals. Belfry, I tell you what, Philip Haywood makes history tonight as he wins his 400th ball game coaching the Belfry Pirates. What a class guy, and 400, and nobody's ever done it before. It's been done now, guys.
He's amazing and a well-deserved, a good person, too. All about the kids.
So Belfry wins 42-12, gives Philip Haywood his 400th victory. That makes history in the state of Kentucky. Louisville Central over Boyle, ending the Rebel season 27-14. These Knights of Catholic will go to Louisville. That's going to be a tough one next Friday. Believe me, when you go into Louisville Central, you got your hands full. The other hands full next Friday night. Corbin over Casey County 36-0. E-Town, I love that. You know, we saw that E-Town team early in the year when we did the Visit Nick. We said this team is one of the best teams and that team is rolling on in 3A. Look out for E-Town in 3A. I think that's a team that could make it to the carpet in Bowling Green.
Yeah, we kind of noticed that right away when we watched that football game, how good that
Johnson Central, Coach Matney, 49-6 over Greenup County. Highlands over Dixie Heights, 52-21. Dixie's not very good. Covington Catholic, 28-7 over Southern. It was North Laurel, 17-7 over Southwestern over Larry French, so they end Larry French's season. Pulaski County, I got to get them back on the ball report. They were on last year. They won 63-0 over Lincoln County as Coach Perry makes his way up here. Listen to this. Cooper tonight over Connor. So Connor knocked out. Mail over Manual 36-0. Coach already gave you the Trinity score. And we know that late Scott County was having a tussle, 28-24 over Station. And we also know that Lafayette and Henry Clay were in a close one, 28-27. Henry Clay actually led Lafayette by 1 point with about 4 minutes to go in that one. Coach Mark Perry makes his way up here to join us in the press box, and do we want to get back here by the logo for the prep spin? I guess. Let me get my cord out, my thing off here. Coach Perry joins us, and Coach, you got to be pleased, especially your offense tonight was clicking on all cylinders. And how about Andy Thompson? At one point in the game, he was 8 for 8, 5 touchdown passes.
Well, I tell you, offensively, I thought we really, we really played well, and we were able to run the ball, and Andy made some big throws for us, throughout the first half, but really throughout the game, and some receivers made some outstanding catches. But it was, we're playing our best football at the right time, and we just got to continue to do that next week. But I'm proud of the way we played tonight.
In your receiving core, you can't say enough about Donovan Morris and Ogbugu. They came up huge for you tonight, and there were a couple of catches when he hit them right in stride. Didn't even have to break stride.
Oh, I tell you, that's huge when we're able to do that, because Jesse Cantor, the offense coordinator, made some great calls and had a good game plan, and the kids came out and executed. And they executed with confidence, and like you said, Andy, did a lot with his feet, but also did a great job with his arm tonight. And those guys made plays when their number was called. They made plays. What I've been pleased with the last few weeks are those guys are making the unselfish play too. What they're doing without the ball, whether it be a screen, whether it be after we throw a 5-6 yard pass, the other guys are trying to block forward and make plays, and in this offense, you look fast, and when those guys do that, and it also helps a lot in the running game.
A lot of guys make plays for your defense, though, but Sid Sharp tonight. How about Mr. Sharp? 9 tackles in the first half alone, finished with 10 tackles to lead you tonight. Fago, we know he always makes tackles. He had 7 tonight. Foster had 5.5. Hickey had 5. And Pedroshi had 4.5 tackles. So those guys all season long, the ones we did, they've been making plays for you on the defensive side.
Sid probably played his best ball game tonight, but they're a tough out. Garrett's a good football team, and Nigel Smith and those guys did a great job of adjusting the second half and coming out and getting a few big stops, and then we were able to get after it. But proud of the way our defense played. And made plays when they had an opportunity.
Got to ask you, Coach, what'd you tell your football team in the locker room? Because Garrett County was running pretty much at will, and they came out in the second half, got the ball. In their first 3 series, they got virtually nothing. They had to punt 3 times there early.
Well, like I said, Coach Smith made some good adjustments. Our guys, we were able to adjust a little bit. They did a few things different than the first time we played, and we were able to get those corrected. I think the pace of our game also, helps when we're platooning, and if a team's playing 6 or 7 guys both ways, it helps when we get in the second half.
You win 59-26. Boyle County sees their season end by Louisville Central's 27-14. But your football. We were talking about it. That is a tough place to play, Louisville Central, and you'll be going there next Friday night.
Yeah, and fortunately, the last couple of times we've been on the road, and most recently Southwestern went down there and played well. It was on a grass field. I know it's not the same going down to Louisville Central, but I think our guys are fine. This bunch doesn't get too rattled, which is good. And but again, I like the way we're playing. We came out of tonight pretty healthy, and again, go meet the test of a really good football team down at Louisville Central.
Coach, what is this, quarterback you over here? I mean, Andy Thompson looks like Johnny Unitas. You've got Fago, who's stepped in there and done a great job for you. Legend Brumball. You've got 3 quarterbacks that most high schools in the state of Kentucky would say, I'd take either one of those guys, much less having that 3 talented quarterbacks you've got.
Well, we're fortunate, and I was really pleased to see, the couple that didn't see a lot of action. They were right there with Andy, patting him on the helmet and staying engaged in the game. And we, again, going back to our very first game to where we are now, we want that position to be successful, to help our team be successful. And whoever that hot guy is that night, and whoever has that number, they've done that. And that was Andy tonight, and I thought he played very well.
You got to go back and watch a tape of this, because William Moorfield had the catch. I believe it was Morris at the end of the football. He grabbed the end of the football with his fingers, and that's one of the best catches that we've seen at the high school level. That was big time.
I thought it was going to slip through his fingers, and just a great play. And Coach Meehan appreciates this, but the way we practice, the number of footballs we catch, these guys touch a lot of footballs through the week, and I think that helps our ball skills out. And but great play by Don. I thought he played very well tonight.
Coach, you're 3A now. You drop down in class. You're going to another regional championship. It'll be a fun week of practice at Lexington Catholic, won't it?
Yeah, it will. It will. I always appreciate every step you take in the playoffs, because you never know, when that last game is, and we obviously are taking it 1 week at a time.
Right.
But we have a goal, and we've not reached it yet.
Coach Meehan might have a.
How many times did you practice that play where the offensive lineman scored the touchdown?
We worked on that 3 times this week.
I think actually a golden lion knocked that ball out of right into the hands of I believe it was 74 who had it.
Garrard.
Garrard.
And Andy's such
tough
a
name.
competitive kid. Andy's the one that stuck the ball out. And he's like, "Hey, coach, sometimes better be lucky."
He wanted to give your lineman a touchdown, coach. He wanted to give 74 some love. Said, "Here's a touchdown. Take it on in for me." So he did. But great game, coach. Good luck in Louisville against Central. We're looking forward to that one, and I know it'll be a great game between Lexington Catholic and Louisville Central.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for covering us.
So Mark Perry, the outstanding coach of Lexington Catholic. They win at 59-26, and that'll do it for us here from Joseph K. Ford Stadium. Coach Mike Meehan for William Moorfield. This is Gary Ball saying thanks for watching the White Greer Maggard High School Football Game of the Week.